certain extreme situations, the law is inadequate. In order to shame its inadequacy, it is necessary to act outside the law, to pursue natural justice. This is not vengeance. Revenge is not a valid motive, it's an emotional response. No, not vengeance. Punishment.
Tonight we have a chance to say, yeah, you're right. We're too extreme, we're too wild, we're too out of control, we're too full of our own shit. Or we have a chance to say, hey, fuck you, you're wrong. Fuck you, we're right. Because you have all made it to the dance. Because believe me, this is the dance. Start the show.
I got rice cooking in the microwave. Welcome to the show, everybody. Hello. I'm in such a great mood tonight that I almost didn't want to show up for work. But I thought, you know what? How often do we have these chill, no pressure, last evening show of the week type things? Never. We never have this. Consider the spot we were in at the end of last night's show. Matt and I weren't maybe, giving our best. We weren't doing awesome. And we struggled. We came up short by 120. And this is why you never give up. This is why you trust your audience. These people aren't going to keep you on the air for 3 years, 4 years on the internet. And then just one day go, nope, done. They got your back. Plus your audience is growing now. You're looking better than ever. You got to count on them. So this morning, complete sea change. Not only did they knock out this morning, like instantly, they knocked out last night immediately. I owe the morning show right now 1 hour of overtime. Tomorrow's morning show could go 5.5 hours. Because I owe them 1 hour. And then if they knock out the overtime, I've got to do 30 minutes. Or I've got to do an extra show like on Thursday afternoon or something. I don't even know how I'm going to give it all back. But then, of course, they almost took all of your overtime for tonight. You guys weren't going to get overtime. If the morning show crowd would have knocked out your goal, they would have gotten your 30 minutes. And we just would have come up here, fucked around for a couple hours and called it a night. As it stands, they got all but $75. You guys have 75 left to go for tonight. I don't I don't mean to be too arrogant because, shit can happen, but we'll stumble onto that. For God's sake. I do love MSO. He is playing the game. He's like, look, I can still do this. You can fuck up. And he's right. We can. Steve C with $2. Oh, he's seething already. He goes, you are a bad liar. I'm sorry, buddy. It's not me doing it. The fans do it. I can't help it. They like me. I know that you can't conceive of people liking me, but some girls do. Some girls don't like boys like me. Oh, but some girls do. And you know what, Steve? I'm glad you're here because you seething about it makes my night, buddy. I almost didn't get down here in time because I almost couldn't make this drink. I brought this out in the heat last week. And had a cigar with my neighbor. My neighbor works from home. And if he's done with meetings or something in the morning, in the afternoon, he'll come over, we'll have a drink and a cigar. And I brought out, I went a little, I didn't do Basil or Angel's Envy. I did Woodford Reserve this time. If I'm going bourbon and Coke, if I'm going with a very simple 2-ingredient cocktail kind of thing, I go with Woodford. Because if you dump Coke on Basil or Angel's Envy, everybody who drinks whiskey is going to turn up their nose at you and call you a freak. So I don't like to do that. I let outward pressure get to me. If I'm making my old fashions, it's always my favorite are Basil Hayden old fashions. Angel's Envy 1A, 1B. But I had the Woodford Reserve out with my cigar, and it sat out in the hot Minnesota summer sun, and it actually melted the glue that holds the cap to the cork. So as I went to take the cap off today to pour myself a beverage for tonight, the fucking cork didn't come with it. So I had to grab a corkscrew quick, open it up, and I've got like the most ghetto bottle of bourbon that anyone's ever seen now. There's a little bit left, and it's all cork. That's all it is. So I almost didn't make it down here in time. See, Steve, that's being a good sport. That's being a fun guy. $2 from Steve C. He says, you want to smoke your neighbor's cigar. That's fun. That's just a fun little insult. See, I'm a gay, and I want to suck my neighbor's dick, is what he's saying. Isn't that better, Steve, than you just getting mad and seething at me not failing? You're going to get tired of that. It's been 3 years, dude. You're going to get tired of it. So, look, I mean, we're already only 70 away from tonight. So if you guys want to hang, I'll hang. I've got I got stories on top of stories we can talk about. You guys want to turn this into a $5 clip show like Fridays, we can turn it into a $5 clip show. But once we knock out that goal, I'm only taking $1 for clips, not $5. Also, I wanted to... Oh, I just read something in Rumble that distracted me for a second, and I wanted to talk about Rumble for a moment. But yeah, if you guys want to have just a nice chill Wednesday, I'm down for it. Because if those morning guys would have knocked out that goal, I'll be honest, it would have been... It was still hard for me to come down here and do a show because, I'm in a great fucking mood. Like... Turning the corner doesn't even begin to describe it. I mean, there's that guy. Who's that guy on Twitter who makes all those AI animations of me? Like my over-positive horse shit. Chopsticks, spaghetti. I can't remember his fucking name. He's so good at it. Somebody's going to send it. Citizen M, what's that guy's name? You see everybody on Twitter. Oh, God damn it. He's got a blue logo. He put stuff up there of me. He did the funniest thing he did. Matt and I high-fived on the show, and he turned it into like the Twin Towers exploding and like terrorist attacks and shit like that. God, I wish I knew his name so you guys could go follow him. It's really funny shit. But I just, oh man. I feel that corner turning. I'm having a great time. And unfortunately, the more that corner turns, I got a lot of friends just in my neighborhood now. A couple of my neighbors, cousins, shit like that. Matt, Johnny. So many people I could hang with on a Wednesday night. And honestly, doing 2 shows a night, 2 or 3 days a week, makes Thursday and Friday so easy. So easy. I'm not taking anything away from Gino or Keanu, but those Thursday and Friday shows are fucking easy. Because they're the only shows I have to do that day. And so going out the night before, not that difficult. As long as I still give you guys a good product. If I go out the night before and I come in and I just look like dog shit and I'm tired and I can barely put in effort and you guys are upset, that's totally fair and I should not do that. But like going out for a little, getting to bed at 1 instead of 11 and then getting up and doing a show, it's very doable. But God, it's so beautiful out, man. I'm a summer girl. What can I say? I mean, I have half a mind to hightail it out to the cabin, take the boat out, the picnic table boat out for a little bit if it's not too windy. Have a couple of beers. I can't have a couple of beers by myself though. It's gotta be a social situation. Like this is barely having a drink by myself. Because we're doing a show, we're talking back and forth, whatever. This is the only time I can really drink alone. Is while doing a show. I don't drink when I'm sad, and I don't drink when I'm by myself. I need it to be a social situation, and I need to be having a good time. I'm not saying I don't understand why people drink when they're sad. I get it, I guess. But I don't know. For me, it's more just, it's a mood enhancer, That's what I didn't like about the drugs that I did when I was in Spicer. Is like there was one time like everyone was being so dramatic and everyone was fighting. I remember I wanted to take Molly that night. And I remember that was like a low for me. I didn't feel good that I wanted to do that. And I remember we were doing something. We got out of the hot tub, and I was a little zooted. You know, I was a little overstimulated. And Kayla came up to me and she put her arms on my shoulders. She goes, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "Not really. I just don't feel a little fucked up. Don't feel good." And that was like my low point, because I'm like, I know I took this dose of Molly because people were fighting and it was a stressful, dramatic situation and I didn't like it and I wanted to just relax and chill. I didn't like that. I didn't like that I did that. I didn't like that that was the reason. For me, I'm Rick Dalton from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. My booze don't need nobody. I just drugs are not for me. But I mean, just getting out there, maybe, you know, going to the neighbor's place, singing some karaoke, having a couple of drinks. That would have been a fun night. But you know what? I can come in here, chill with you guys. I got to get a show ready for tomorrow morning anyway. Got $75 left to go. Let's have some fun and fuck around on our last evening show of the week, huh? We'll run with you guys in the chat a little bit. We'll kick to a story every now and again. We'll have some fun. Citizen M says, "I'm not going to plug him. You literally plug every Dabbleverse creator outside of me." I'm sorry, dude. Do you want to put your link in the Rumble chat there? I'm sorry. I didn't know I was upsetting you. Certainly not my goal. Goal's $70. Ha! So Citizen M, put your shit in the Rumble chat there and the YouTube. Put it everywhere. Citizen M says, "Wait until the Ricada video I'm doing. I'm going to destroy Nick harder than CPS ever could." I saw some Alyssa clip stuff today. And again, when I talk about turning the corner, a month ago or even like 3 weeks ago, watching him like tell blatant lies and try to fool people would have made me upset. It would have made me angry. Now I watch it and I just get sad because all I can think of, like a group I belong to, there's a term called detachment, where when you're affected by people's certain behaviors, you have to detach. You can't try to rationalize it. You can't try to, oh, they should apologize. Oh, they really hurt me. Do they even know? You just detach. And I've noticed that detachment is kind of complete, because when I see that going on and the situation he's in and watching him just blatantly lie to people about what these papers say and stuff, I just look at it and I go, that's got to be a really hard life. I don't look at it and I go, that motherfucker, this and that. I just look at it, I go, that's got to be really tough for him. And everybody there, it's got to be, if Kayla's there, it's got to be tough for Kayla. If April's there, it's got to be really tough for April. It's got to really suck. I spent the day with friends and my kids, and we were playing Coob out in the backyard, playing yard games and stuff. And I made him spaghetti. I just love it. Anytime I make spaghetti and meatballs now, I just think of Negan. I can't help it. If I make spaghetti and meatballs, I just go, and I made him spaghetti, Rick. Is it hack to go as Negan for Halloween? Because I missed that trend, and I think I want to do it. Who gives a shit? But I just think about what I got. And I know I'm getting clipped for this, too, by that AI guy. But I just think about all that stuff, and I go, that's got to be really hard for them, Especially the feeling the need to go publicly and lie to people about it. Like, if I were in that situation, my mouth would be shut. I'd have given up. I'll admit, I'd have given up and said, I'm not a streamer anymore. This has cost me too much. I'm done. I need to work on getting my kids back. Whatever money I've saved, that's the money I'm going to live on for a while. And I need to work on getting my children back. And watching people do the opposite of that and feel that it's important to, talk to strangers on the internet about these situations because you can't stand not controlling how they think about it. It doesn't make me mad anymore. I just look at it and I go, that's too bad. It's just, that's got to be a shit life, and that's got to be really hard. And I hope that steps are taken to make that better. Because like I said, that suffering doesn't help me at all. So Citizen M, I wish you the best with your video. I hope it does very well. I hope you see a lot of success with it. And like I said, just have fun doing what you're doing. Citizen M says also Negan is still going. He even has Lucille back in season 2 of Dead City. The Walking Dead is still going? I thought that was done. They just had a thing where Negan saved everybody and it was over. That it was finished. They got more so they're doing spinoffs now. Is Rick still fucking around? Is he still doing shit? That show, man, that was I want to go back and watch seasons like 1 through 6. That show's like Dexter, man. It was fucking good for like 6 whole seasons, and then boy did it get hard to watch. Really hard to watch. All right, guys, let's go in. Let's catch up with you guys, and then we'll get. God damn it, Paul. Paul sends $1.99 into PayPal, and he says for the Young Asian Boy Fund. Now, the morning show audience started doing this thing where they sent in super chats and PayPals, and they said that the PayPals were for us to split like an Asian boy or an young Asian woman that I was bringing in. Again, guys, I am not trafficking in Asian people. I'm not trafficking in any people. So please do not send me super chats and PayPals suggesting that you and I are splitting an Asian prostitute in any way, shape, or form. Drink alone every night by yourself, pussy, someone writes in, and Coon is my favorite yard game. It's called Coob, not Coon. You guys, it's a foul-mouthed audience. It really is. Steve C with $2 says, I was never mad, weirdo. I'm just funnier than you. I mean, that's definitely, I guess, subject to taste, I suppose. Nick the Milkman with $5 says, nobody cares about your drug take, considering that an energy drink is too much for you. Shut the fuck up, you pussy lightweight. Can you argue with a guy when he's right? You can't, can you? There's no arguing with the dude when he's got it. All right, we got another one we got to thank. Let's see who we've got this time. This is from Raz of Chaz. He's $10. He says, how do I get in on that Asian whore from this morning? I don't have any Asian whore. There's none. There's 0 Asian whores. I have nothing to do with the trafficking of said whores. I wouldn't know where to get. I don't know where to get crack, cocaine, heroin. Hell, Johnny, I guess weed. I was going to say I don't know where to get weed. I don't know where to get any drugs but weed, which is legal in this state now. And I don't know where to get hookers. The best I could do, there was that chick that Johnny was talking about at the strip club that he DJs at sometimes, that he said was really pretty. Like, I thought about that today. I was like, I wonder if I went there. And this is all hypothetical. I'm not going to fucking try to turn a stripper into a prostitute. But I wonder if I went there and I saw this nice young lady and I got a dance or two and there was a number she threw out there, whatever. Would they do it? That's the only thing I can think of. Like, in terms of where to get a prostitute, that's the only place I would think of. I'm a very sheltered guy. I'm a Menards dad, dude. I busted out my tape measure today. I measured out a Coob field. I played a couple games of Coob. Fun fucking game. Fun game. I might smoke a pork shoulder. That doesn't sound gay. Might smoke a pork shoulder on Saturday and go do some singing and some partying and some drinking. Who knows? It's going to be a fun weekend, and we're almost there. We're getting close. We've got our last evening show. God damn it. Patricia with $20 says, I've never done a threesome with an Asian prostitute. Aaron, why are you asking? I didn't ask you, Patricia, for a threesome with an Asian prostitute. That never happened. You're lying to these people, and I really don't appreciate it. Thank you, guys. $35 away from tonight's goal. You guys are the best. Like I said, morning show audience really kicked it in the ass for you guys. Social Observer with $10 says, can I get a refund on all my donos? What? Why? What did I do now? Thank you, Social Observer, for the $10. I appreciate it. It's never something you want to see, someone giving you $10 and then going, can you just give me all my money back? I mean, I'd rather not, but if you plead your case and I feel bad. West Coast Patriot Girl says, is Menards like Home Depot? Dude, no. Menards makes Home Depot look gay. Menards is the shit. There's no comparing it. One person writing, our agents can't handle a slightly sloped roof. Oh, well, yeah. We've got do we have a shooter update for tomorrow? Oh, my God. I really wish they would stop giving us information on the Trump assassination attempt. I said this 2 days ago and I was half joking. I'm full serious today. I want them to treat it like the Las Vegas shooting and just shut the fuck up and just let us think what we want to think. Because every time you give me details on this shooting, I go, oh, so it was a setup to have Trump killed. So that, because when I have a conspiracy theory and I base it on nothing, what I really like you to do is let me feel crazy. Let me feel crazy or totally dispel the conspiracy so I feel better about it. Don't keep saying shit that makes me go, oh, so it's not a conspiracy theory. It's just what happened. And every time they give us info like, hey, why was that fucking asshole allowed within a football field of the president on a roof that should have been occupied by agents, when fucking regular people are sitting there going, hey, there's a guy up there. Hey, that guy might be he might start some shit, that guy. And then the Secret Service and the police do nothing. Let me just believe you're incompetent. Because they came out today and they said, or yesterday they came out and they said, oh no, what happened was, look, you guys, not a big deal. You see, the roof is too sloped for our agents. Are you out of your... And then they showed photos of like the roofs that they were on. Way more sloped than the one that this jackass was on. So like, just stop. Treat it like the Maui wildfires. Treat it like the Las Vegas shootings. We'll all have our theories and you'll stop talking about it so we don't feel more comfortable with those theories. Buffalo Jockey with $10 says, I'll pay extra for a North Korean prostitute. Make it happen again. That not only can I not make it happen now, stop saying again as though I facilitated a North Korean defector prostitute for you. I never did that. MSO says, you're confused, Patricia. He's selling Asian slaves. I'm not selling Asian slaves. Honky with a Tywin Lannister quote says, any man who says they're funnier than you is not funny at all. Steve C is the Linda Lovelace of comedy. He sucks that hard. Yeah, it's not good. What was Tywin Lannister's real quote? It was, any man who has to say he's the king is like, he is the king, but he's not whatever. I can't remember. Tywin Lannister is one of the most well-written, smartest fucking characters in all of television history. He's awesome. West Coast Patriot Girl says, I've heard 3 different names of the shooters so far. The newest is Maxwell Ulrich. I've heard that one. And he looks more like the shooter than the Crooks guy. I don't know. The Crooks guy was in like a fucking Blackwater video, though. So, like, that seems like the dude. Thank you very much, Nick the Milkman. He says, play my clip, you fuck. Oh, I'm sorry. I was still talking to the audience. We were still fucking around a little bit. I'm sorry. You are right. I think we're, $15 away from tonight's goal? Thank you guys very much for your contributions to our measly little program. Let's start with his clip tonight. My brain goes numb with mental retardation. Wait a minute. That's just a clip shitting on me. That's just clipping me out of context. Me calling myself a retard. That's what you paid $10 to show me. My brain goes numb with mental retardation. Thank you. We're going to have a fun night tonight, aren't we? The clip is just titled, Aaron Talks About Being a Tard, as though I'm afflicted. Thank you. I appreciate that, Nick the Milkman. Again, $15 away from tonight. You guys are my favorites. What can I say? All right, a couple more messages here, and then we'll get on down the road and start some things. Would you be... God damn it. I'm going to go to the text line for one more. This ought to be good. And the first thing I see, would you be interested in fucking my wife in exchange for me fucking Slam Piece? If so, send me another dick pic. I've never sent this person a dick pic. I don't know who they are. And to answer his other question, send a pic of your wife. No, that's not, I didn't say, you guys said that. I did not say that. I'm glad we went to that last message before we moved on. Thank you guys very much. Great start to the show. I enjoy it. I enjoy you fucking weirdos. $15 away from knocking it out tonight. All the links are in the chat. Thank you. I've got something that should piss you off. You remember the Q shaman, Goat Boy? The guy with the horns and the full-on interspecies garb that went on January 6th, went into the Capitol. Remember they tried to paint him as a guy who's like this crazy savage. And, I mean, it's not hard to paint him that way, in fairness. I mean, he's dressed like a fucking goat. But like a demon goat. Like the devil in Tenacious D in the Pick of Destiny kind of goat. And they painted him as like some sweaty-toothed madman that was there to like go in and destroy everyone's desk and blow shit up and this, that, and the other. And then we find out, like, when we got all the tapes when the Republicans took over the House, we found out that this Q shaman guy was just wandering around the joint. It's kind of like Norm Macdonald joked. He went, yeah, all those terrorists on January 6th who were walking in the rope line at the Capitol. All those crazy rioters walking in the rope line. Because that's what rioters do. They respect the velvet rope when they go somewhere. You saw it during the George Floyd riots. I think some of them use that velvet rope to set buildings on fire. It makes great kindling. But they painted Goat Shaman guy, Q Shaman, as this crazed person. And then we get all the video and we see he's just moseying about the Capitol. He's even got Capitol Police with him, praying with him, showing him shit. And then he comes back out and he goes, hey guys, Trump wants us to leave. Let's get out of here. Ba 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 ba. And then like Epps and all the feds are like, nah, we got to stay in here. And I don't know why they looked like Popeye when they did it, but they did. And meanwhile, Q Shaman is like, guys, Trump said leave. We should probably leave. Like Q Shaman was me trying to get all the people in my life to quit drugs. Oh, guys, this is a little unreasonable. We're probably doing a little much. No, fuck you. We don't even do any. You don't know what you're talking about. What did I just see? I don't get it. This is crazy. So it turns out Q Shaman was wildly more rational than they painted him out to be. He did set himself up as a good villain. But now we're finding out that the U.S. government is still being a cunt to Q Shaman. They don't want to give him his horn helmet and his spear back. How's he supposed to chuck his spear if he doesn't have a spear to chuck? You can't. How many spears would a spear chucker chuck if a spear chucker could chuck spears? QAnon Shaman wants his spear back so he can chuck it. Q Shaman's one of the best spear chuckers there are, and they won't give him his spear back or his goat helmet, which is probably where a guy like that derives most of his charisma and confidence, and they won't let him have it. I don't like it. The Justice Department doesn't want the January 6th defendant, known as QAnon Shaman, to get back a helmet he wore and spear that he held when he stormed the U.S. Capitol. Now, did he storm the U.S. Capitol? Did he? Or did he simply mosey on through? Jacob Chansley, who has completed his prison sentence in connection with the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol, has filed a motion seeking the return of his property back in May. He's also seeking to modify the terms and conditions of his supervised release due to recent litigation in other January 6th cases that may impact his sentence. So basically, the shaman did his time in the lockup, and now the government won't give his shit back to him. I've watched enough movies where guys get out of prison to know they give you, like, here's the belongings you came in with. Here's, like in Rounders, they gave Worm his toothpick back. And they won't give Q Shaman his horned helmet and his spear. That's sad. I actually do feel bad for that guy. Because he got fucked over publicly. I'm not saying he was like those, that Sandman kid, that Christian school kid who like got a bunch of money from CNN. But like, they did say a lot of shit about him that wasn't true. And they just get to say it, move on, la-di-da, here we are. And now the guy can't even get his goat helmet back. I have a rad Ram helmet. It's a Vikings colored, real leather, real genuine ram horn helmet. It's fucking great. I paid like $400 for it at the Renaissance Festival 2 years ago, and I've worn it to like 4 Vikings games already. I have gotten my money back on my horned Viking helmet. I just can't go to a game with a girl and let them see me wearing that. People don't want to have sex with you if you're that big of a sports fan. They're like, and also like a guy with that helmet ought to weigh 30 pounds more than I do. Like he should be a big, fat, beer belly kind of a guy. And I just like it. Someone else texting into the show text line, Jesus Christ, enough with the taint pics. I didn't send anyone taint pics. Another person writing in, so did I hear you right? You're asking for dick pics? Weird. Okay, but I'll send one. No. I'm not asking anyone for dick pics. I'm not sending anyone taint pics. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. The Q Shaman was on The Simpsons, says West Coast Patriot Girls. Oh, okay. The horn helmet had cameras in them. Oh, he was recording the whole thing. West Coast Patriot Girl says horned Viking helmet is sick. I don't know where I have it right now. I don't know. Oh, she better not have taken my fucking horned Viking helmet. That would be the biggest spite move in history. If she took the horned Viking helmet with her, that would make me so fucking sad. There's no way she did. There's no way she did. Number one, Josh Denny fan says, when is the Online Ceramics Steel Toe merch collab? Who's that? I don't know who Online Ceramics is. I do know this. I think by the end of the summer, we're getting all the VIP stuff sent out that April never sent out. I'm getting all caught up by the end of summer. The stuff is here. I'm going to go pick it up, start mailing it out. Tomorrow, all the Stoney's gift cards from last month will be mailed out. And then I'm going to start giving away the new ones next week. And then by the end of September, I want to have the new Steel Toe store up. And I want to get the VIPs hats. Free hats. Free Steel Toe hats. Number one, Josh Denny fan says they make very high quality merch. Oh, okie doke. MSO says she got custody of Frank. No, I still got all of Frank's shit. Frank the Crusader's shit is it is here, it is queer, and it is here to stay. Don't you worry about that. I just feel bad for that Q Shaman guy and him not getting his fucking helmet and his spear back. You still aren't up to date with merch? Another win for the toe, says Mr. Nobody. What am I supposed to do? You know how much shit I had to catch up with? And I've caught up with all of it. The only thing I didn't get caught up on was the stuff that our supplier didn't have in yet. You're not going to make me feel bad about that. I have fucking kicked ass, seeing as that was never something I was supposed to do. And I picked it up with no help. She didn't do anything on her way out to fill me in on what was going on. I pieced it all back together, and I fucking nailed it. Within a couple of months. West Coast Patriot Girl says, I want to see the helmet. It's a terrible choice of words. Triple N says, where is Gordy? No, I have Gordy. Gordy's been here. Gordo, come here, bud. Gordy. Where the fuck are you, retard? Oh, shit. Did I leave him outside again? Gordy, come here, bud. Oh, there you are. Where are you, buddy? Come here. Come here, Gordy. There he is. There's a good boy. There's a good boy. Oh, just a good boy, Gord. You're just such a good boy. Aren't you happy you're being here? Yeah. You don't get that chemically smell anymore when you go for kisses. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. All right. Do you want to go lay down on the sack? That's not a stop. Stop it. You want to go lay down on the sack? Go be a good boy. Good boy, Gord. Go lay down. Don't take in the garbage. That's bad news bears. There's nothing good in there. It's just empty iced tea bottles. That's it. McBuster says, no, put the peanut butter down, poor Gordy. Stop it. I am not doing anything peanut butter related with my dog, nor do I need rumors of such getting around. Another person texting in. I'm confused. You want dick pics? Okay, here he is. And what? Oh, it's a picture of Andy Dick. Okay. Somebody just said, oh, God. Here's a picture of my wife with Johnny and Adrian. That's Lisa Ann with a terrible tit job, by the way. Jesus. I didn't realize they were that bad. Oh, well. Yeah, that was not what you said it was. That was not your wife with Johnny and Adrian. That was a black man and a white man with penises like Louisville Sluggers. I feel sheep. I feel like I have to cut mine off now. I wish guys got. I wish we got dick cancer, like women got breast cancer. You know when women get a little breast cancer and they just lop off both their tits because insurance will cover getting them new ones because it's because of cancer. Sometimes you just like, you know what? You could mold a dick any way you want to. You know what, guys? This is getting way gayer than I thought it was. Do you mind if I just hit the eject button on this? This is not this train of thought. People think that doing a talk show is so easy that you just go stream of consciousness and you just start talking and people go, oh, the solo shows are so fun. It's so great. Those solo shows, I love them. Do you know how much trouble I get myself in on these solo shows? Because it's just me rambling and going, this'll be good. And then I go, don't you wish you could get cancer of the prick, Donnie? Don't you wish you could get cancer of the prick and then just rebuild your cock from scratch? No. I want to leave my cock the way it is. Yeah, see, Triple N says, yeah, let's 86 this bit. Perfect. I'm with you. Number one Josh Denny fan says, guys can get dick cancer. That's a weird thing to wish for. I know. This whole thing, it went down a road that I wasn't happy. It was about to be my cop ordering at a Denny's moment, but I have enough self-awareness to go, oh, that's fucking terrible. We're not going to sit here and defend this like a retard. Let's just hit the eject button, call it a day. Oh, we got more messages coming in. Somebody sending me what's supposed to be a picture of themselves, but I believe that's just the wrestler Dick the Bruiser. And it just says DTF ? There's a picture of Richard Nixon. It says 93 days left until you promised to shut down the show if you were still begging in a year. I know, that's right. Because I was supposed to have a radio gig by then, but then all this shit came and our radio people went, let's just let it cool for a little bit. I'm like, fuck. I kind of knew that the minute, one of the first things I thought when I was on MLC and they sent me April's mugshot is I went, well, all those radio talks are going to slow down a little bit. I think they're going to want to stay away for just a little bit as I'm connected to all this. Oh, fuck me. Luckily, yeah, I still talk to them from time to time, and it's just, hey, don't worry about it. Let's just, get through this. Like, I suppose it wouldn't help to say I'm not actually involved or charged with anything. And they're like, I wish we would have gotten divorced earlier and she would have had her name changed by then. Would have made things a lot easier for me. Oh, $15 away from tonight. Thank you guys very much for being such a, wow, what a wonderful audience. I think we're good here. I don't know if I told you, but we are going to the lake this weekend. Thanks, Ma. I'll consider it. Midsummer Music Festival. Oh, this is one that's here in central Minnesota. Who do they have? Mason Dixon. Oh, Wednesday. Who gives a shit? They got Jackal, Texas Hippie Coalition, Night Ranger, Slaughter, Skillet, Drowning Pool. Fuck. I'm good. I'll be all right. We can skip that one. I don't need tickets. All right, let's jump into another story here. You guys have been very funny tonight, and I do so much appreciate your candor. But again, we're only 15 away from doing overtime tonight. I got half a mind to just stop reminding you and just escape out of here a little early. Shh. I'm in full-on hooky mode. You don't understand. Because I only have one show a day, Thursday and Friday, this is my Friday. Monday, 2 shows Monday, 2 shows Tuesday, 2 shows Wednesday. Doing one morning show a day, if we come upon an extra $3,000 a month at any point in this show's future, which is possible, no more evening shows. Honestly, probably like $2,500 a month. No more evening shows. And if I was doing one morning show a day and that was it, and that was paying all the steel toe bills, that's almost too easy of a job, I should have to do 1 or 2 evening shows every week. Otherwise, I've kind of got a bum job at that point. All right, let's get away from this Q Shaman thing. I don't know if you heard, but Joe Biden I'm not sure if this is all part of the plan. I'm not sure if this is all like them trying to get rid of him, and this is the next step. If this is some kind of, like I said, clandestine shit. But today, Joe Biden announced on Twitter, I tested positive for COVID-19 this afternoon, but I am feeling good and thank everyone for the well wishes. I will be isolating as I recover, and during this time, I will continue to work to get the job done for the American people. Now, here's what I don't get. I haven't had COVID for years at this point. I've had it 3 times. And I haven't had it for at least over a year. And all these people that are getting it are like Biden and shit. Biden's not only vaccinated up his ass, but he's boosted to the hilt. He's had 9,000. Like, I just don't fucking get it. Like, I didn't even think COVID was a thing anymore. Who's getting COVID? Like, even the diseases Joe Biden gets are old and out of touch. But I don't know, man. Like, now everything that happens with him, I think it's all just part of the game. You know, I think it's all just part of, they're trying to get rid of him. They'll just use this COVID thing. And then watch, they'll come out and say, well, he's got long COVID. And because they've been talking a lot about long COVID lately. And, this long COVID thing is going to keep him out of the race, and he can't effectively do his job. So, I think we're going to have to replace old Joe Biden. Until that doesn't happen, I'm going to be convinced that that's what they're doing. Plankton with 199 says, want to go to Firefest on the 27th. All right, let's see who's at Firefest in Cold Spring. That's not far. That's like 10 minutes from my cabin. What's the schedule like for Firefest? They used to have really good bands. Brothers Osborne. Oh, shit. I'm not a big Brothers Osborne or Parmalee guy, but Clay Walker signed me the fuck up. $85 a ticket until July 26th. VIP tickets $190. General camping $150. I can camp at Firefest? I mean, I'll consider it. I might go to Firefest with you. Have some 3rd Street beer. Choke down Minnesota Golds. They're fantastic. Maybe do some business while I'm out there. Hey, 3rd Street, you want to, holla at your boy again? Maybe we will get those evening shows taken off the schedule. Nah, I think you might want to stay away from my name until all the dust settles. Let's be honest. You might want to, just steer clear of the kid for about 6 months, and then we'll pick her back up again. But yeah, Clay Walker. The Brothers Osborne, they're supposed to be all right, aren't they? I suppose I could start listening to some of these guys. Parmalee had a song I liked. They were a band that did a thing. That might not be too bad. Maybe I will go. I should go to a camping music festival this year, too. Have they done We Fest yet? That was the one Eric Church is at, but I don't want to go see any of the other people. We Fest 2024. August 1st through the 3rd. Jelly Roll, Parker McCullum, Eric Church. This Co Wetzel guy, I've been listening to a little bit of him. He's pretty good. Trace Adkins, Paul Cauthen, Lone Star. Suck my ass. I'll go. MC'd by Cowboy Troy. That's fucking random. All right. Send me up to Detroit Lakes. I'll go listen to some Dude. I'll go to Detroit Lakes to listen to some EC. Oh, and the Bellamy Brothers are there too? That might not be a bad show. What do they have left? Sold out. Single day general admission tickets. VIP gold and blue tickets. Upper and lower grandstand. Single day parking. Pit passes, they've got a few left. Wow, they're pretty much sold out. Okay. Go check out some EC at... I'm in for some festivals, man. I really am. Thanks, Plankton, for asking me that question. Now I'm thinking about going to 18 different places. Kevin says, got a $50 one. What? What do you mean? You've got a $50 ticket to Firefest? Holla at your boy. So, yeah, you know what? I might go. If I can find somebody to go with me, sure. Oh, boy. All right. The other one is parent shit. We've got to get them backpacks and all that. Dive Bar says, Clay Walker, LOL, you'd be cooler if you listened to Clay Aiken. Fuck you, dude. Clay Walker's all right. MSO says they're going to Fredo Aaron on the lake. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. Am I going to be, I'll be fishing and I'll just go, Hail Mary, full of grace. The Lord is with thee. Blessed are you among women. And Hail Mary, pray for us sinners now and at the... Did they shoot him before he said hour of our death, amen, and then they shot him? Or did they shoot him just before he said hour of our death? I forget in Godfather Part 2 how far Fredo gets into the Hail Mary. Mr. Nobody says, pay him the same as before. He said he'd lower the goal for less shows. Another win for the viewers. Pay him the same as before. I don't know what that means. I must have read that wrong. Dive Bar says he's just trying to redirect attention to him. Poor Joe, he got sick. Is that what you think it is? Joe Biden is getting COVID now so he can, hey, Trump got shot in the face, or well, in the head. The ear's your head. Trump got shot in the head. I'll get COVID. Then people will know I'm a warrior. Yeah, the only thing is, though, like, you're going into hiding with the sniffles, and Trump's sitting there fucking headbanging and fist pumping after he gets shot in the head. It's a little different. Closet Fest 2024 is at Stoney's this year, says McBusters. Hey, that's interesting because our 10th anniversary reunion show is up. Hey, wait a minute. Aaron likes butthole pics, so send them all. I don't like butthole pics. I don't like butthole pics. And Mr. Nobody, she actually knows their fucking lies because she was manipulated the same way. So there it is. Alyssa Saxon, of course not. Thank you very much for the $4.99. I appreciate it. Hey, everybody, we're $10 away. Thank you very much. Almost to overtime this evening. I appreciate you guys chipping in. Yeah, there's something weird about this COVID thing. First of all, nobody gets COVID anymore. Second of all, it's interesting timing for him to get COVID to try to like, oh, what are we taking the heat off of Trump getting shot in the ear? Dude's going to show up at the RNC for his speech. When is his speech? How many days does that fucking thing go on? I don't follow this shit as close as I should as a talk show host. But Trump's going to go up there with that ear bandage from his fucking gunshot wound. If he has like a notch in his ear like a Doberman, then it's going to be really badass. But he's going to go up there with the bandage on his ear. Remember when I got shot? And then Joe Biden's going to go, I'm sick, you guys. I can't come to work. Come on. If that's the best you can do on trying to get the heat off of the Trump assassination attempt thing, just stay home. Just stay home. All right. We're done with the Joe Biden COVID shit. Everyone's got their theories, though. I like that people have theories on it. Ever since COVID now, in general, I just always look for, yeah, but what's the real explanation? Like everything, I always look, I used to trash conspiracy people, and then since COVID, I've just been like, yeah, but what's the real thing? Like every time they give me the story that they want to throw the bullshit at me, I go, okay, but what's this really about? You know? What's the real story? Why are they really announcing this? Why is this really being done? Which is really unfair because I'm sure there's plenty of times where they're just telling the truth. That's just the way it is. But they're such rat bastard scoundrels all the other times that, I don't know. Vidam says, Aaron, behave yourself. I am. Quit doing things that keep setting you back from getting better on radio. The internet drama is getting old. I can't wait for you to be back on radio. Well, thank you. But if somebody wouldn't have got arrested, we might have been all right by now. No, we wouldn't have. We're there's also a holding pattern because we have to wait for something else to happen without saying too much. We have to wait for something else to happen before our thing can happen, if that makes sense. I think I said that without saying it. Speaking of Biden, so not only is he now sick with the sniffles and he's got COVID and I don't feel good, I'm sick. Now apparently all of his troops are rallying against him. All of like the old guard who fucking were saying like, hey, come on, he's the president. Let him shoot till he misses. He's fine. Don't worry about it. They're starting to turn on him now. Schumer, I guess, today turned on Joe Biden. And this Jonathan Karl, the chief Washington correspondent for ABC News, he was there to fucking rat Chuck Schumer out. Let's check this out.
And I am told that the pressure from Democratic leaders for Biden to get out of the race is intensifying. In fact, one person who has been out there publicly defending Biden told me just a short while ago, Biden is going to see the whole house of cards come down soon. As for that meeting in Rehoboth, Delaware, I am told that this was a one.
Wait, he just kind of glossed over that? Did he just say, one source told me the whole house of cards is going to come down soon? Would you like to elaborate? Like how? When? Can you give us a date? No? Okay.
Defending Biden told me just a short while ago, Biden is going to see the whole house of cards come down soon. As for that meeting in Rehoboth, Delaware, I am told that this was a one-on-one meeting, just the Senate leader and the president, and that
Chuck Schumer, by the way, is the Senate leader.
One-on-one meeting, just the Senate leader and the president, and that Chuck Schumer forcefully made the case that it would be better for Biden, better for the Democratic Party, and better for the country if he were to bow out of the race. And David, when I went to Schumer's office to ask them to tell them I was going to report this and tell you this tonight, absolutely no denial from Senator Schumer's office. They only said this: Leader Schumer conveyed the views of his caucus.
Oh, God, that's good. You know, again, I know I pissed some people off earlier when I said I kind of feel bad for Nick when I watch him go on stream to, like, obviously lie about these documents that are coming out. And it's like, dude, who are you trying to kid? These people or yourself? And I'm like, yeah, but I feel bad. Like, it's just got to be a shitty spot to be in. And, like, even though you're not supposed to like these people, I still feel a bit of empathy for them. Same thing with Joe Biden. Like, yeah, he's done a shitty job and he's fucked up the country and he should have never been there in the first place. And I have serious doubts as to whether he really won. But at the same time, I'm just imagining myself going through what he's going through. Like, all of your friends, all of these people who put you in this position, all of these people who, you know, cashed in all their favors to install you as president, these people are now coming up to you and just giving you the old et tu brute, gutting you, filleting you like a fish, and going, you got to get the fuck out, Joe. And, like, Joe and his family are like, look, we're not done fleecing people. We're not done stealing money yet. And you guys are trying to kick us out of the business. This isn't okay. And you wonder how much worse it's going to get, because now it's like Schumer and Pelosi, who, how do those two have any fucking room to talk about being like too old and shitty to hold public office? If he's got to go, they should go. They should make room for somebody else. Where's Schumer? New York? They ain't electing a Republican. Where's Pelosi? California? Yeah, fucking right. So you guys could all step out too and make room for somebody else. But no, it's just Biden. And not because you're concerned about Biden or his health. You're worried about your own position on the ticket, you fucking marks. I hate these people. Like, I actually hate Chuck Schumer more than I hate Joe Biden. Because at least with Biden, like, look, they installed him in there. They made him president. They cashed in their favors. They cashed in their chips. They said, this is our guy, and we're gonna get him in there no matter what, come hell or high water. And then after one term, they're just going to turn on him and kick him to the curb. That's a bullshit move. Let him finish the job, as he says. Let him keep running. Now, do I want Trump to win? More than I want Biden to win. But it's not like I'm worried about whoever else they're going to pick, because Trump is going to kick the shit out of whoever else they're going to pick. So go ahead and pick Newsom and wreck him for 2028. I don't give a fuck. Pick Harris and we'll all see what a fucking joke she is. That's fine too. But don't sit here and shove the knives in a guy's back who obviously wants to run for his job again. If all of these old cocksuckers, if Dianne Feinstein can sit there and die on the Senate floor, essentially, then Joe Biden can keep running for president. Fuck these people. Like, they just sit there. And also, for the last 4 years, the people have been insulting people like you and I, who go like, oh, he's senile, he's losing his mind, he's fucked in the head. Oh, you're terrible, that's awful, blah, blah, blah. And now you guys show that you're going to lose, and now all of a sudden you're repeating the same shit we say. No. We know you're dumb, but you're not that dumb. You saw the same shit that we saw. And only now are you acknowledging it because you're worried it might affect your bottom line. I do. Like, put me on the side of Biden if you're talking about like whose back do you have? Pelosi, Schumer, or Biden? Joe Biden, Jill Biden, Hunter Biden, 100%. Because these people were criminals with him when they installed him into office. And they're trying to wash their hands of it now because they're worried that their crime syndicate might be in a weaker position if they keep him there. Fuck them.
In other words, the views of Democratic senators. I am also told that Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic leader in the House, has expressed similar views directly to the president.
Hakeem, the African Dream? The big boss man's partner? Fuck. That's a heel turn of heel turns. That's super shitty. Yeah, I don't like that shit, man. I don't like what Schumer's doing. I don't like what Pelosi's doing. It's not fair to Biden. He's the president of the United States. He has the right to keep running for his job until he doesn't want to or he can't. And look, he's getting close to the can't part. That's not that far away, let's be honest. But he's earned that right. And for these fucking jackals, for these bloodthirsty savages like Pelosi and Schumer, these political opportunists, these little rat bastards, to just jump on him at the last minute and throw him overboard. That's a fucking dog shit move. Really is. Vadam says Alex Stein got kicked out of the RNC. Did he really? I saw he fucked with Cenk Uygur, which, come on, that can't get you kicked out of the RNC. He didn't get kicked out, did he? I'm looking that one up. Alex Stein, RNC. Totally worth getting kicked out of the RNC just to crash Piers Morgan. And oh, he really did. This is why I got thrown out of the RNC. Cenk Uygur is a coward for this. That's it, huh? Wow. So Alex really did get thrown out of the Republican National Convention. Wow. That sucks. Is he on right now?
Yes, I have on season 2.
Yo, we're doing these?
Yeah, we did it, season 2.
Let me do one right now.
I'll do a little bit, but I want
to hear him talk about the
old
RNC
person pissed
thing.
me off driving. Push you? Did somebody else push you from the back end?
What the hell?
Yeah, well, then one of his cronies came and gave me a bear hug after it. It was really annoying, but that's it. Look at that frame, dude.
That's hilarious.
And we're live on Piers Morgan's, and then Piers Morgan retweeted it, so thank you for that. We do appreciate it. Now, you saw that great video. We're bringing something back. Jimmy bagged. So we brought back Jimmy's favorite part of the show, the caption contest.
Woohoo!
Now, Jimmy.
Oh, they were okay. I love Alex. I really do. And this is nothing other than like a vibe thing for me. Obviously I have no information to back this up, but it's like there's something going on at the Blaze. Like, is there something going on between him and the Blaze? Because I just get it, like his energy on his show. The last couple times I've watched, it's a different energy than before. I hope everything's good with him and the Blaze, because that seems like a good fit. Like, he's a younger guy who does, weirder, more off the wall shit. And the Blaze is, it's Glenn Beck. It's straight laced. It's conservative and all of that stuff. But I don't know. I just get this weird, or maybe Alex is just like that. I don't know him well enough. Like I said, we're internet acquaintances, and barely that. But I will say he's been very nice to me through this whole thing. But like, we're internet acquaintances. I've learned my lesson on the whole friends thing. We're not friends, but I like him. I think he's a good dude. But the energy just feels different. Maybe it's just a mood. You know what? I'm being a cunt because he did just get kicked out of the RNC, which I'm sure pissed him off a little bit. West Coast Patriot Girl says Alex is the guy that's not afraid to say what everyone else is thinking. Fuck that, dude. I don't even think it's that. Alex isn't afraid to just say some shit to bug people. And I like that. Like, he doesn't even have to like it or think it. He'll just say it because he's like, I want to see what this does to this guy. And then he'll just say the thing. I like that. Von Kaiser with $10 says, today is Jimmy Shaker Day. Well, there you go, evening show audience. You've knocked out today's goal. That means it's a W. That's another win for the toe. Thank you guys very, very much. You're getting a half hour of overtime. Anything you guys throw in from this point on goes to the the morning show crowd. Now, look, I'm not saying that you owe the morning show audience anything, because you've bailed them out of a lot of shit before. But they knocked out almost everything for tonight. Like, whatever kind of vibe we have on tonight's show is because of the morning show crowd. Everything now goes to the morning show. All right, there we go. If you guys want to contribute, there's all the links in the chat. Thank you. Atomic Ray says the reason why you want old politicians is so the Fed pension payroll doesn't have long-term pensioners. You know, I never thought of that. That is a great point. McBuster says Alex is the tick-friendly leotard princess. Okie doke. Boy, I tell you what, I am... what the fuck? Was Keith Olbermann on CNN? Get the fuck out of here.
You are watching.
I don't believe this. Oh, no, that's not. Okay, can you forgive me for thinking in a thumbnail that this was Keith Olbermann? I saw a thumbnail where they were talking about the Trump shooting, and I thought CNN had Keith Olbermann on. And I'm like, dude, you know he's going to get your license to broadcast taken away. Because, like, Keith Olbermann's going to be there rubbing Crisco on his tits and genitals going like, I'm so happy that this happened. It has to happen again. We have to save democracy. They're afraid. I thought for a second that CNN had the fucking cojones to put Keith Olbermann on the air right after the assassination attempt. That would have I would have applauded CNN for the balls it would take to do something like that. Holy shit. J. Brock Contrarian says, this just in, Aaron's gay. I love J. Brock, but I have to disagree with him. I am not, nor have I ever been, a homosexual. But thank you, pal. I was actually really proud of Tucker Carlson. I saw an interview with him where he's going right down the old conspiracy path with this Trump shooting thing. It's fun to watch. I like watching Tucker just effortlessly be Tucker. Somebody from the Daily Signal put a microphone in front of him, and they asked him about the shooter, and he just matter-of-factly said, I don't think it was one guy. He thinks there were multiple shooters. And like, what I love about Tucker is they'll go, what do you base this on? And he's like, just my fucking gut, dude. I'm just rolling with it. Because he's not tethered to Fox News. He's not tethered to anything anymore. So they can just go, what do you think about this? And he can say, you know what? I think it was a couple of shooters. Like, really? What evidence do you have to support that? And he's like, none. Just feel it in my balls. So let's watch a little bit of Tucker talk about the shooter. Tucker's one of those guys where I'll always be interested to hear his takes. And is it just me or Republican girls cuter than Democrat ones? Maybe I'm looking at the wrong Democrats and the right Republicans, but it's just something that Republicans have a look about them.
I know him pretty well personally, and I think he's an outstanding person. He's really smart.
Oh, by the way, he's talking about me. Sorry to jump in the middle of this interview, but yeah. Tucker's talking about me. We had a talk and a drink, and he said, you're like one of the smartest guys I know. Tell me what my opinion should be on this whole Trump shooter thing. And I just went, look, dude. And I said it with a straight face. I said, I think you should go on TV and you should tell as many people as possible that you think there was more than one shooter. I think they're going to love that. And then he turned around to go do it. And I just went, got Tucker to do that. Watch what I got him to do.
But he puts his intelligence to good use, which is to say the pursuit of wisdom. I mean, JD.
That's really smart. That's really nice of you, buddy. Thank you. Thanks, Tuck. I appreciate it.
This is one of the only politicians I've ever met. Well, he hasn't been a politician for very long, but who thinks about like what's the right choice?
Yeah, I do.
You know, what's the moral choice? What's the best choice for the country? So yeah, I'm thrilled. But I would also say that Trump didn't choose a long list of truly destructive people who hate what Trump believes.
Wow. Name names.
And who, for reasons that they would have to explain, wanted to serve them anyway.
Fucking do it. I want to hear it. I'll name my names. The people who wanted to be Trump's running mate, but secretly hate his guts, like kind of like Pence. Remember they got Pence to like keep Trump under control, and then he just stabbed Trump in the guts on January 6th? Like, I don't think J.D. Vance will do that, but I think people who don't like him, who wanted to serve, would be like Marco Rubio. I think would be my number one guy that I'd say is one of those establishment Republicans. Trying to think. Like, Marco Rubio is the first one that comes to my mind. I don't think DeSantis is one of them. And I don't think Nikki Haley wants to be his running mate, so she's out.
What is that? You know, if you didn't agree with somebody, you probably wouldn't want to be their running mate, right? But if you
Unless you're a power-hungry serpent, then yes, you would want to. I mean, there's been a long list of presidents who have picked VPs that hated their guts. Al Gore and Bill Clinton hated each other. Bill Clinton would emasculate Al Gore regularly during his 8 years in the White House because he saw Al Gore as like old money, family heritage, and Bill Clinton saw himself as like this self-made man. And he, like, Al Gore was mad that he lost in the primaries to Clinton because he felt it was just his turn because he was a Gore. And Clinton beat him, and that pissed him off. Clinton made him his running mate and then douched on him. And then in 2000, when the country was in pretty good shape, we can admit, all Clinton had to do was, I put my blessing on Al Gore. He's the next guy. He's the next president. And he wouldn't fucking do it. And that was, dude, it was such a dirty personal thing. And it ended up costing Al Gore the election. And I think Reagan and Bush didn't like each other. But Bush used to be the head of the CIA, and they probably just showed Reagan the Kennedy film, and they go, that's what this guy does to people who don't play ball. And it's just, maybe you just pick him as your running mate, huh? All he'll do is, like, he'll puke on a prime minister once in a while. You'll be fine. I want to hear Tucker name names about who some of these running mates are that he should have picked or shouldn't have picked.
Want to be the running mate anyway, that would suggest what? Well, A, that you were incredibly dishonest, and B, that you're probably working to subvert them. And there was, I'm not privy to Trump's mind, but I did watch the process closely, and there were an awful lot of people who I personally consider loathsome, but even if I didn't consider them loathsome, I know for a fact dislike what Donald Trump believes, and they wanted to serve with him. There was a lot of pressure, a lot of pressure brought to bear on the president to choose them, and he didn't. And so I consider...
Well, if he didn't learn his lesson from the last time where he let them pick his running mate for him and it was a guy who, tried to fuck him, then that would be kind of Trump's fault if he picked one of those establishment guys. I think Vance is a good pick. It is a little queer to me that J.D. Vance has shit on Trump really hard in the past. That's a little weird, but
his choice an act of courage. I'm grateful for it. I think it says something really good about where this administration will go. I'm saying confidently that he'll be the president. He deserves to be. I think he will be. And so I find it thrilling.
Tucker, the past 24 hours has been wild. The amount of news that has come out.
I think this is where Tucker lays out his not a lone gunman theory, which I think is spectacular, that we have a media guy like Tucker who, and this is what Alex Jones could never be. Because Alex Jones goes, they're fucking demons, and they'll steal your babies, and they'll rot in hell, and they're pieces of garbage, and you should never trust them. Like he's a lunatic, like Patrice O'Neill said. He'll tell you 2 + 2 = 4, but he'll shove marbles up his ass while he does it, so you don't want to be associated with the guy. Whereas Tucker is like, he's straight-laced, he's put together, he talks very calm, he's very intellectual, but then the shit that comes out of his mouth is just wild. He'll be like, well, I think the country's in a great position. I think we're doing a wonderful job. We're magnificent. We're magnificently positioned to win this election. And by the way, I think there were 2 shooters at the Trump assassination. And I think the CIA and the Secret Service was trying to have the president killed. And I'll say this, that it's just a wonderful vibe and attitude here at the RNC. And he was like, whoa, wait. I know you're wearing nice clothes and you're talking very intelligent, but did you just say that you think the president was set up to be? Because like if you and I, they put a microphone in front of us, we'll get all worked up and we'll go, oh no, dude, it's totally the Secret Service had Trump set up and they tried to kill him. And even when we're trying to be good, our eyeballs will get about this big and our heart will start pumping Kool-Aid and we'll go insane. Tucker Carlson has an innate ability to stay calm when he's saying fucked up shit. And I admire that about him.
How did the attempted assassination on former President Donald Trump change this election?
Well, Trump won when that happened because he displayed physical courage. And, you know, if you live in a society where people are literally dating by remote, virtually, and working virtually, you can kind of lose touch with the physical reality of life.
Dude, that's a great fucking point. In fact, that's why Tucker says, he goes, I don't do social media or any of that shit because it's not real. And like people on the internet want you to think it's real. They need you to think it's real because it's real to them. And in the real world, they've been cast aside. And on the internet, they might mean something on a forum or something. So anytime you tell them like, none of this is real, this is all a house of cards, it's stupid. It's none of you are being authentic. Shut up, you fucking boomer, you fucking retarded. It's like, I'm sorry, dude. It's just not. I know you're trying to do this for your 100 people watching you right now, but like this isn't real, and these aren't the people you need to impress. You need to be a real person. He's right about that.
But the unchanging truth is that leadership requires courage, and not just abstract courage, moral courage, but physical courage. You know, someone starts shooting a rifle. Like, are you going to wet yourself and start crying and run away?
Yeah, that one. That's the one I'm going to do. Oh, is that the wrong answer? Shit. That was the one I wanted to do. I wanted to piss myself and run away. I got that wrong, didn't I? I'll say this. I know we all like to think of ourselves this way, but if it was like my family members and shit, at least immediate ones, I'd fall on top of that. I'd protect them. If it was just me, dude, I'd run like a bitch. That's like an I don't have to outrun you, I just have to outrun the bear kind of situation. If I have loved ones there, I think, you know what, honestly, if I think about it, if like the mother of my kids was at a rally and I found myself near her and the kids were there, I think I'd even protect her too. Like I would have that innate instinct to just protect anyone that I know that was there. Like a friend, same thing. But if it's me by myself, I will be a total chicken shit. 100%. If there's nobody I'm responsible for at that event, fuck that, I'm out of here. I have selfless courage when it comes to people I love and care about. I have no courage when it comes to me. If I hear gunshots, I'm fucking ski-daddling. There's going to be that cartoon smoke bomb. I'll never have run faster in my life.
Way, or are you going to stand up and look at your people and raise your fist and say fight? And very few people are capable of doing that. And
if I had a crowd of Secret Service people and they were tackling me down when I got up, yeah, I'd be like, I'd puff my chest. I'd be like, yeah, motherfuckers, we got him. Because I know that he's dead. You know, I know that they fucking got the guy. Because they said it in the Secret Service people's earpiece, so they brought me up. So then I'd be like, yeah, fucking get me, you piece of shit, because I know he's dead. It looks brave, but I'm really being kind of a preening gay F word.
Is, and therefore he wins. Because that supersedes all this nonsense that we talk ourselves into believing is important. No, the guy got shot.
That was a really good impression of whoever he was doing.
Shot in the face. He stood up with blood streaming down the side of his head, blood on his hands, and said, fight. Totally defiant. That's an act of undeniable courage that was not staged. You couldn't stage that.
Is there another billionaire in the world who would do that? Think about that. It's a 76-year-old billionaire. I'm trying to think of any billionaire who would get shot like that and wouldn't just immediately run to the vehicle. Bill Gates? Well, he'd have a date at a preschool. Warren Buffett? Bezos, he'd run to the car. Musk, I don't know. Musk's a coin flip. He could go either way. I think, you know who I think would get shot in the ear and then fucking fist pump on his way up? Mark Cuban. I think Mark Cuban would be a crazy motherfucker if he got shot. But there's not many. Like Trump, Mark Cuban, those are two very unique dudes.
That man is the
Richard Branson. Richard Branson, the Virgin Air guy, Virgin Atlantic, whatever. Virgin Mobile, whatever, Virgin Galactic. Richard Branson would probably go a little ape shit if he got shot.
Leader, and he wins. And by the way, notice what happens to everyone in the crowd. When a leader is strong, his people are calm. his courage gives them heart. That's true for a father, and it's true for a president. So yeah, he just won, and he deserves to win.
I want to hear this.
That was
shooter.
the ultimate
I want to hear
test.
this second shooter
You
theory.
had predicted about a year ago that an assassination attempt on Trump was likely. How did we get here?
I'm fucking good at calling shit.
Well, we got here. Disaster has many authors.
A copy of Gray's Sports Almanac falls out of his. Oh my God, he's a time traveler.
So we got here for a bunch of different reasons. I think there's been, I say this as someone who's been in the media my whole life, 33 years, an extraordinary amount of recklessness and dishonesty in the American news media, which is loathsome. The legacy
that
media,
loathsome word.
the big companies that I spent my life working for, have really dedicated themselves to lying in a very cruel and vicious way. You know, people like Joe Scarborough did a lot, I think, to make assassination attempts like that possible.
See, I like this. I like that he's naming names. He's like, these motherfuckers in the media, and he's like, Joe Scarborough. I wish he'd do this with the vice president thing, though. I want to know who he thinks are the fucking rats in Trump's camp that wanted to be his VP.
They're comfortable with violence. Scarborough especially is comfortable with violence, but a lot of them are, I think. And so they should be ashamed they're not, but they should be. But I think more broadly, you know, there's a lot going on that is unseen. There's a lot of evil all of a sudden in this country. I never noticed it before. I'm not saying it wasn't here, but in the 55 years I've been here, I haven't seen it.
He's 55. Dude, give me whatever they give Tucker Carlson. Holy shit. That's a 55-year-old. That's a guy pushing 60. He looks younger than I do.
I've seen it in the last year.
Oh, you know what it is? He's got a prescription to that thing. What's it called? Money.
People really being vicious, people espousing cruelty and killing, people telling you that abortion for its own sake or war for its own sake is a good thing. Like, what is that? That's evil. So there's a lot of that, and this is, I would say, a manifestation of it.
Yeah. You are seen as very controversial by the leftist media.
What? Tucker Carlson controversial? Who is this broad? I can't believe she would say such a rude, terrible thing.
Oh, you're so controversial. Oh, you're so controversial.
Did the assassination attempt on Trump make you regret anything that you've said?
Well, I regret all kinds of things. I endorsed the Iraq War. I mean, talk about living in shame.
Dude, how do you not love this guy? Nobody does that. Nobody stands up and goes, oh, yeah, that thing I said before, yeah, I fucked that up bad, G. I love that about him. If we had more people in leadership positions who just did that, because it doesn't cost you anything to go, oh, yeah, that thing I was wrong. Like, I've done a lot of that lately. I've go, oh, that shit I did the last 6 months. Yeah, that was all wrong. That was bad. I was a terrible guy, terrible father, terrible husband, terrible everything. Got to rebuild from scratch. This was, I made awful decisions. Like, it doesn't cost you anything to admit when you're wrong and correct. You know what does cost you? Sanity, years, time, consequence. To deny the obvious and continue living the wrong way. Like these politicians who have rooted for every war and keep rooting for the next one. They don't admit they were wrong. They keep making the wrong choices. Whereas a Tucker Carlson goes, have I been wrong about shit? Jesus Christ. I was for the Iraq war. I should be walking around in shame. I love that about him.
Yeah, I mean, I regret a lot of things I've said, and all I want to do is apologize for those things and to say I was wrong, which I really don't enjoy saying I was wrong or apologizing, but it's the only way.
Dude, I can tell you this, it's so liberating to just tell someone you were wrong. It feels so good. Because like people come at you with this harsh energy sometimes. And they just go, yeah, you said this, and you go, yeah, I was wrong. You know, it's the Neil Patrick Harris line in Harold and Kumar where he's like, yeah, it was a dick move on my part. That's why I'm paying for your meal. You know, when people don't know what to do when they come at you with this righteous anger and they're ready to unload on you and you go, oh, let me stop you right there. I was wrong. I fucked that one up. That's on me. You're right. And they're like, what? But people get mad when you tell them you were wrong and they were right because they wanted to fight you. And you're like, I'm not going to resist on this one. I'm wrong. Why would I keep defending an incorrect position? That would be silly. You nailed it. You got it. It's your W.
Forward. So, yeah, I regret all kinds of things I've said. But I'm not, controversial. That's like one of those words. When I was an editor, I banned that from my newsroom. It doesn't mean anything. What it means is I don't like you. In point of fact, I think I'm the most moderate person I know. My parents got divorced. I hate change. I want everything to stay
How do you not love this guy?
exactly the same. That's the opposite of radical. I'm the opposite of radical. I like the status quo. I go to bed at 10 o'clock with my wife and 3 dogs. Like, that's, I'm not into...
Bro, how you gonna fuck, dude? You got 3 dogs in your bed. How you gonna get pussy, Tuck? Yo. Do you fuck when you're 55? You know what? Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
Anything radical at all. I'm the least radical person I've ever met. In fact, I'm not radical enough. So, no, if I'm a radical, I'm not the one getting rid of Easter and replacing with Tranny Day.
Come on. All Wednesday evening shows should just be us watching Tucker interviews. I'm not replacing Easter with Tranny Day. Where's he come up with this shit?
Like, the person replacing Easter with Tranny Day is calling me radical? Okay.
You're a conservative for a reason, in other words. You want to conserve things.
Well, I'm just temperamentally that way. I mean, I like the country I grew up in a lot. I loved it. I love it still. But I'm very worried about it now. But I loved it. If I could press a button and make it 1985 again with no internet and, no threat of AI and all the rest, I mean, I would do that.
I agree with him, man. I think you go to like 97, 98. That to me, that's bueno. That's perfect. I was like 11, 12, whenever we drafted Randy Moss, let's go there. Although we still had the internet then. You couldn't get on it. You couldn't really do anything on the internet back then. Everything was dial up. And I remember I wanted to go to WCWWrestling.com and fucking nothing. It took forever for it to come up. No, thank you.
I can't do that, of course. That's a middle-aged man's dream. But I'm only saying that. It's kind of pathetic even to say that, but it's true. But just to show that, if you think I'm radical, you don't know what the word means.
Going back about 5 days, most of the conversation in the news was, of course, about President Joe Biden and his cognitive ability to serve.
Fuck that, dude. I want to hear his take on the shooter.
Stop that. Stealing the election once again like they did in 2020 is just too hard. Everyone's expecting it. I think it would not be worth it, actually. At some point we may find out what happened on Saturday. A guy with a rifle wound up on a building, that close with a ladder, and all these people saw it, and the Secret Service, they're like, what is that? It's not crazy to think that there was something there. It was an effort to kill Trump. It wasn't just a lone gunman who was killed.
So he's not saying there were 2 shooters. What he's saying is it's not as easy as, it's just a lone gunman and he was a crazy guy. And yeah, I agree with that. I think it was a setup to have Donald Trump killed. And I don't think that's a crazy radical take. Because the other option, there are 2 options in this thing. Either it was a setup to have Donald Trump killed, or the Secret Service, FBI, and local law enforcement are combined are so fucking shitty at their jobs that they let some guy get within a football field of the president with a gun on a roof with a clear vantage point to the stage. I'm sorry, I don't believe that. I don't believe they fucked up and that happened. I think they did their job. Whatever that job was, whatever that guy did that day, that was the job the Secret Service was to carry out that day. So no, I don't believe that the Secret Service fucked up their job and this guy got to take a shot at the president. Sorry, no.
That it was something else. But I don't think going forward, look, I think everyone has kind of accepted the fact that Trump's going to win, and it would be too hard to stop him from winning. This is just my gut as of today. And Kamala Harris, that's not going to work. What they really want to do is subvert Trump with a running mate who agrees with the Democrats and on the big issues, on the economy and foreign policy. And there are a whole bunch of those. And donors tried to force them in the last 48 hours. They tried really, really hard.
Who?
You can't beat Trump. Clearly, you shoot him in the face and he gets more popular. I mean, really? So what we need to do is just rot it from within with like some running mate who, let's make Nikki Haley the running mate. Or
Oh,
something
okay.
like
He
that.
named a little. He named a name.
And they failed. So I'm pretty hopeful.
I mean, it is weird that like we're finding out that even though there is a deep state, and even though they are like after Trump, they're incredibly incompetent at their jobs because every time they try to thwart this guy, they fuck it up, dude. They really do fuck it up every time they try. Like, yeah, I think they're up to shit. Yeah, I think they're trying to stop Trump, but I think they're as competent as the politicians they work for. Really. Dive Bar says, all right, Aaron, how much for you to rub Crisco on your chest and testicles and shove marbles up your ass? Thank you. No, I'm not going to do either of those things. West Coast Patriot Girl says, I think Trump knew who these people were. He put them in the spotlight for people to find out, not to put his stamp on them. Number one, Josh Denny fan says, are you aware there were multiple attempts on Obama that involved massive Secret Service failures? I mean, not anything as public as Trump. No, I don't know that. I would love to see that. If you have that, as I said, I have no problem admitting I was wrong about something. I've never seen it before. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. He also says, remember the guy who got over the fence and all the way to the White House with a knife? Yeah, they smoked that dude. You're not ready to see a guy just climb up on the fence and start running. Like, I'm sure if you're the snipers, you're like, is that motherfucker really trying this? Is he really trying to run to the White House with a knife to get this done? Oh, wait, or are you talking about, wait a minute, didn't the guy with the knife, like, get inside the White House and wander around for a little bit? Or am I thinking of somebody else? Because if that's the guy I'm thinking of, the number one Josh Denny fan is right. There was a guy, I don't know if it was the knife guy, but there was a guy who got into the White House. It was either during Bush or Obama's time. And he just fucking was walking around, just moseying about the White House. Or the guy who took a bunch of shots at the White House, one hitting his bedroom window, and he was able to just drive away. I do remember that. Yeah, you're right. You're right. There have been numerous attempts on Trump's life, too, just haven't been advertising them, says West Coast Patriot Girl. There's all kinds of shit going on. MN Top 40 with $10 with a link says Aaron working on his cardio. I can't click this link. Did you send me? Oh, you know what? You put a period in it. That's why. I'll fix it. Appreciate that. That's a big fat fuck dancing. Or as MN Top 40 calls it, me working on my cardio. Thank you for the $10, buddy. That puts us $10 into tomorrow morning. You guys have already knocked out tonight. You're the best. Thank you so much for your generosity. K. Fallen the Great, becoming a member for 26 months, says, you're telling me the deep state is Wile E. Coyote and Trump is the Roadrunner. Yeah. Yeah, that's a perfect metaphor for it. Yes. Sam Show says, I look away for a second. What gay shit was that? Well, somebody sent it in. They said it was me doing cardio. What can I say? Balls Deep with $11. Thank you very much, buddy. There might be a message attached to that, so let me go back into the PayPal system here and read it. Thank you, Balls. We're $20 into tomorrow morning's goal. Again, thank you guys for your generosity. Oh, the comment just says $11. That's good. Well, it's good to make sure. Atomic Ray says, seeing why am I not in on that group messages? What group messages? There's no group messages. Don't worry about it. Oh, we got what? We got an hour left? An hour left of tonight's Hangout Show. Hey, guys, do me a favor. Hit like, hit subscribe. Smaller than usual squad tonight. I think, like, honestly, as we get deeper into the summer, I see these evening shows just, being attended by less and less people just because it's fucking beautiful out. Like, it really is nice. And then you got people doing the, RNC coverage and shit like that. I don't really see us doing our usual, 400 people or so during the evening shows. I don't hold that against anybody. Oh, I fucked something up. God damn it. I don't get it. Here we go. All right. There we are. Okay. Got that all responded to. I'm sorry. That was terribly unprofessional. Hey, have you guys ever heard of medieval MMA? This is a thing. I saw this today. I thought it was something I should share with you. So apparently there's an event that people attend. I'm sure this is like a bar thing where they put an octagon in a bar and then it's a special attraction night. Like they've got a slow night of the week and they're like, let's give this a shot. Like midget bowling and shit like that. But it's called medieval MMA and it's just two dudes and they dress up in full knight's armor and swing like maces and axes and shit at each other inside of an octagon. I think it's got potential. I wouldn't mind bringing it to town. Let's take a look. Oh, fuck. Dude, I didn't realize that right off the bat we were going to get these guys actually fucking smacking each other in the head. One more time. Whoa, that was just a shield strike right to the head. I like this. Whoa. So you can just straight up hit guys with axes and shit. I know this is a dumb question, but what if it gets through? Like, was armor that good in the medieval days that if you... I know that, like, not a lot of soldiers wore armor because you needed a lot of money. It was really expensive. Like, this myth that all the soldiers wore this big plate armor is actually very rare. You had to be someone of pretty substantial means. But if you had enough money, you could cover yourself in a way that would make you damn near invincible. I mean, don't get me wrong. They could, like, knock you out and then just fucking smash you to death. But, like, actually getting, like, a sword or something through that shit was really difficult. Oh, takedown. Oh, then just metal hands hitting metal heads. What the fuck? Oh, Jesus Christ almighty. Okay, I'm not going to lie. That looks like one of the most fun things ever. That looks like I would go to that. I would pay to watch the fucking Renaissance MMA. Number one Josh Denny fan says, Josh Denny claims in this clip he tried to warn you about having your wife on the air. Any truth to it? Yes. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I can confirm that. I didn't know people were looking to me to confirm that. Josh Denny, absolutely, in a DM years ago. You can clip this. I don't mind. I think that, God, I want to say it was like very early on. It might have been before YouTube even. Might have been while we were still on Twitch. And we reached out to Josh Denny, and I guess he didn't like what we were doing or something. And he did say, he's like, man, having your wife on the air, it's a big mistake. Having your partner on the air, it's a big mistake. Not a good idea. And he did warn me about it. And I don't remember being a dick about it. I don't remember being an asshole. He used to call April Jules. Like if April would email him asking him to be on the show, he'd call her Jules. So I don't know if they got into it or if we talked shit about him or something. Sorry if we did. But yeah, he did. In DMs. I don't even think it was public. I think he privately warned me. He's like, having your wife on the show is a bad idea. And it usually ends poorly. And he was right. He was right. Especially like it's just the being around each other all the time. But then also April was always someone who did very well when she was being complimented and did very poorly when she was being criticized. And if she was being criticized, it was never something she had to look into and never her fault. It was always, it was always what's wrong with these people. And that's like that kind of attitude, that's going to be a ticking time bomb for working on the internet, unfortunately. Number one, Josh Denny fan says, Josh is a great guy. You should have him on the show. I would, anytime. I'd love to have Josh on. We've talked about it in the past. But no, if he did he say that on a show? If he said that, yeah, he has talked to me about that in the past. Years ago. It's not like he, when it fell apart, he was like, oh, you should have never had your wife on the show. No, he called this when things were good. And that's the thing, like things would be really good on the show. And then April would catch a lot of shit for something. And then we would fight about it and she would get mad about it and upset. And then we go back up again. She's so happy. Things are great, blah, blah. And then something would happen. It was a roller coaster. The highs were incredibly high. I can't complain about the highs, man. They were fucking great. But the lows did a number on me, boy. And I'm sure her too. But that was a mind fuck. The lows, I tell you that much. But yeah, Josh Denny absolutely warned them. West Coast Patriot Girl says, or warned me, I'm sorry. West Coast Patriot Girl says, if you love them, keep them to yourself, though. Yes, absolutely. Don't swing, don't share partners. If you do that, by the way, if you want to do that, you don't love your spouse anymore, and you just want to fuck some strange. That's all that is. That's all that is. So, yeah, don't do that. Keep them to yourself. Treat them special. And that goes for both men and women. And as far as, like, working with them, I can't recommend it. Like, don't let them in on your business or anything like that. Keep your own shit. And then you guys will be a lot happier. Number one, Josh Denny fan says he said it on Killstream. Okay. Well, I mean, Ralph could use some advice, just like kind of on day-to-day life. I think like you don't skip over and talk to me. Like I'm on the upswing. I'm improving. You got to talk to that motherfucker about some things, dude. But yes, Josh did warn me, and Josh was right, and I was wrong. John Deere has reversed course on their woke agenda after backlash. I saw this. Why a company like John Deere would delve into any politics that aren't just MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. And even then I wouldn't do that if I were John Deere. You're a fucking tractor company, bro. You're a company that sells shit to farmers. And I know there's some Democratic farmers out there, but like, a lot of these rural guys are pretty Republican. And if they find out that you've been doing some progressive shit behind the scenes, they're going to fry you like bacon, dude. Apparently, here's what John Deere had been dabbling in. They fired hundreds of American workers. They're moving operations to Mexico. They funded a pride event for kids as young as 3. Oh, boy. Genderbread man training. Oh, God. They ask employees to list their preferred pronouns on all communications. And, like, the way things are set up now socially, if your customers just find out that you're doing that shit, even though it doesn't affect like the quality of your product or anything like that, it's still like if they find out you're just doing that, the way the social climate is, they'll stop buying your products. They'll go to Husqvarna or fucking International Harvester. You know, they'll dump Deere in a heartbeat. Bill Gates is listed as their largest shareholder. I mean, can you hold that against them? If a guy offers you a boatload of money for your shares, you're going to sell to him. So I don't know. I mean, the guy's got a lot of money. He can throw weight around. What are you going to do? John Deere celebrated their accounting and finance team taking United Way's 21-day United for Equity program. I don't know what that is. When I did United for Equity program, it promoted Ibram Kendi, the woke children's book, Anti-Racist Baby and Awake to Woke to Work, a podcast on the concept of whiteness, woke activist Robin DiAngelo, bigotry against Christians who supposedly have Christian privilege, and more. Yeah, see, why get involved? Like, I was watching, I told you I watched The Last Dance again, for the second time. And like Michael Jordan's Republicans buy sneakers too line, I think people fall on one of two lines. They see the Republicans buy sneakers too line as like callous and cold, and Michael doesn't have any balls or backbone. Or they see it as like, well, yeah, fucking stay out of this shit. If it's not your forte, if it's not the thing you're known for, stay out of it and just, do your basketball or do your tractor sales or whatever. Getting involved in this shit, it's just going to cause division. It's just going to lose you customers. And like people with blue hair and fucking 18 piercings in their face are not going to start buying John Deere tractors just because you started funding some DEI shit. That's what I don't get about pandering to these people. They don't buy anything, especially not John Deere products. They also got involved in LGBTQ and race-based identity groups at corporate. Yay. A total commitment to DEI policies. Great. And a 95 out of 100 CEI score from the HRC. I don't know what that means, but fuck. I mean, I suppose, man, it's they thought it was what's best for business, but it just seems so obvious to me that you just don't. If you're a company, you don't get involved in that shit. There's no winning in it. How many times do you have to watch companies get completely blitzkrieged and butt fucked on stuff like this before you just go, no. You don't have to come out against it even. You just go, I'm not going to get involved. The only problem is some of these groups, they like get you in their sights. And then if you tell them I'm going to stay neutral, they'll treat that as like an attack and then they'll shit on you publicly. So the key is to never let them get their hooks in you in the first place. That's about the long and short of it. It's time to expose John Deere. Recently, CEO John May's watch. They've gone woke. This is so this isn't the CEO. This is just some guy talking about what John Deere's up to. Holy shit! 8 minutes and 19 seconds. Holy Vincent D'Onofrio in the cell, Batman. Fucking Gomer Pyle over here.
All right, y'all, it's time to expose John Deere. As many of you know, we had a very big win recently with Tractor Supply where we got them to drop all their woke policies. Well, I regret to inform you that...
Who are we, by the way? It's always weird to me. Whenever people are like, we bullied this company and got them to stop doing this. This is a big win for us. Did you make a shitload of money? Did you gain more members for it? Did you bring them to the table and they had to concede some things to you? Like, I'm always interested to know what these wins are. Because, like, if you went to a company and went, we're mad that you're doing this, and they're like, all right, we'll stop. And then you go, yeah, that's a win for us. Well, actually, no, your life didn't change at all. They just didn't do a thing that they were going to do. That's all. Like, people get a little wound tight on this shit.
John Deere, another company that relies on conservative customers, has also gone woke. This page you see behind me is their personal pronoun policy. They encourage employees to use pronouns in all communication. And I'm just warning you now, you're going to want to strap in.
That's actually way more offices than you think. I know I have a buddy who he's like, yeah, they have us doing that shit too, and I don't like it, and I think it's dumb, but it's like, I'm not going to sit here and start a fucking war over it. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to go home. And then I'm going to bitch about it privately.
Because this is going to be a long video and, in my opinion, much worse than Tractor Supply. But let's continue. This is an event that John Deere sponsored called Capital City Pride's Little Rainbow Run. It was for kids as young as 3 years old to engage in pride. And side note, I don't care if you're gay or straight, kids should not be celebrating what type of sex you like. It's
right. That's, that has been my position on all this gay straight shit forever. It's like, we're not talking about love. We're talking about fucking. You know, I subscribe to Patrice O'Neal's idea that, like, you can love a man. You can have love for a man. Like, I love you. But it's not gay till I'm fucking you. So when we're talking about gay, we're talking about sex. We're talking about the butt fucking. Or the vagina play. Or whatever. You know, so when you got a 3-year-old going, ooh, gay pride, that's butt fucking pride. Stop it. We don't need to involve a 3-year-old in that. Enough. And if you're John Deere, even if you want to give money to this cause, how are you retarded enough to let them put your name on it? You're a goddamn farm tractor company. Jesus, if you want to support these agendas, do it in secret. I know people are probably mad at me for saying, they're like, oh, Aaron, so now they're supposed to just be dishonest. And yes. You're putting your logo on it. You're making yourself a target.
It's weird. It's creepy. Here's a fun photo we found on LinkedIn. Yes, this is John Deere employees being trained on the genderbread man. Yes, the genderbread man. If you're not familiar with that, it's the whole concept that basically gender is completely fluid. There's no such thing as your biological sex. You just are whatever you think you are.
So let me get this straight. They brought a bunch of like farm mechanics and technicians to a meeting where they taught them about gender fluidity. Oh, I would love to hear all of those guys' conversations immediately after that meeting was over. Oh, can you imagine the amount of gay F words that are being thrown around and all this? Oh, that had to be fun to listen to.
So much like Tractor Supply used to have, John Deere has what are called ERG groups. These are a way to divide people on identity lines. Pure identity politics. They separate you by race, sexuality, or any number of these things. This is a post about their rainbow ERG group, which, if you guessed was their gay group, you were correct. You're going to want to see the logos that were made for it. As much as I wish I was joking, I am very much not joking. These are real logos that were posted on LinkedIn. Which, side note, John Deere is much more open about their belief system on LinkedIn than they are on other social medias. I wonder why that is.
Ask me how to be an ally. That would be fun. I want to ask somebody that. I want to come up to somebody at some point and just go, hey, how can I be an ally? And they start going, well, what you can do is, I'm just kidding. I don't give a fuck. I appreciate you like gearing up to talk to me about this, but it just sounds gay. Just like, well, actually, that's what I wanted to talk about. You see, the LGBT. No. I don't mean like LGBTQ gay. I just mean like gay, you know? Well, no, I don't know what you mean. Oh, well, ask me what I mean by gay. What do you mean by gay? Just fucking gay, dude. Wasn't John Deere another company that was trying to make it so you couldn't get the codes to do repairs on your own equipment, says 09 Canyon? They walked that back eventually. They aren't the only ones. Yeah, that was actually, I remember, I think I was even working in Litchfield at the time. It was a while ago. And that was a big controversy. They're like, oh yeah, they're going to change all the shit in John Deere stuff, so you have to bring it to a technician and pay a shitload of money if you want to have anything done to it. So, yeah, I think that was them. And they had to overturn that because people were ready to revolt over it. West Coast Patriot Girl says McDonald's tried to do that with their soft serve machines too. Oh, get it so nobody could. Oh. I mean, do those ever work? I hate to be a hack, but like, do those ever work anyway? When you go to order a shake or something like at McDonald's, you just like, I don't drink, I don't eat them or drink them or whatever the fuck you do with shakes, but the kids want them sometimes. And it's a 50-50 shot as to whether or not you're going to hear, we don't have shakes right now. And they can't wait to tell you either. They say it right away. They're like, hey, can I get a chocolate shake? Oh, shake machine doesn't work right now. You're like, okay, sorry. I apologize. I'll have the slushy again. Thanks. Mad Moof says it's because they have to meet DEI goals to get yearly funding. They don't care about a loss because they are all owned by BlackRock. J. Brock Contrarian says in John Deere Green, they wrote Billy Bob loves Aaron. It's a Mandela effect thing. You remember it as Charlene, but it's Aaron. Don't bother looking it up. Mad Move says they also said Aaron shot the jukebox last night. None of these. This is not a Bernstein Bears Mandela effect thing. You guys are just straight up lying. That's all. Rusty Grammer said, as someone who often works on a lot of farms, they are 75% Hispanic. They are anti-alphabet group people. John Deere just shot themselves in the foot. Yeah, you might see a lot more orange and a lot less green on farms from now on. West Coast Patriot Girl says they never work because they have to pay the certified company big bucks to repair them. 09 says that's bullshit. If I bought something, it's mine. I should be able to get it serviced anywhere I choose. That's how I feel about my genitals, but people insist on it. You know, you get consent. What do you want? What do you want? Johnny played this for me earlier today. It's Dixon Dallas. No, I'm just kidding. It's this gun YouTuber who I guess he says that YouTube has changed its policies on firearms. and that's going to make it tougher for like gun channels and shit like that to operate. I haven't heard anything. Like I'm in the partner program, obviously. I haven't heard anything from YouTube about this. I haven't heard anything from them about changing the policy, about guns, about anything like that. Nothing. And I just get it's this video from these two guys who are just going, I guess these guys make a lot of money from gun sponsors. Like a lot of gun companies want to advertise their shit on their channel because a lot of people watch them. Hickok 45 is retired school teacher Greg Kinman. And he's, I guess, pretty big in that community on YouTube. And they made this video about the gun policies on YouTube. And again, I have not heard this. I've only heard this from them. But let's take a look.
Hickok 45 and Son here. How y'all doing? Got some bad news today to share with you, and don't know where you're seeing this, whether you're on the Hickok 45 Clips channel or the Hickok 45 main channel or the Hickok 45 Talks channel. We're posting this on all three channels today. We just had a chat with our Google rep, and John, you want to share?
Yeah, he shared some unfortunate news with us. Some of you may have seen that YouTube changed their policy on gun videos on June 18th. And we were not aware how much that was going to affect us until very recently when we just talked with our Google rep, as Dad said. And you may notice that our videos posted since June 18th have been removed. And the reason for that is because essentially the new policy that pertains to this video and what the problem is here is that all sponsorships from companies that are either firearms companies or companies that deal in firearms accessories are a complete violation of YouTube's policies. And any videos posted,
that's always been something with YouTube that's been fucked up to me, and all these social media companies, that they can just do that. You know, for lack of a better phrase, that they can just pull the trigger on something like that and go, yeah, that's against the rules now. It's like, do any of us, are we voting on this? No, it's just against the rules. Not only is it against the rules, but now we can go retroactively enforce it, which is a little fucked up too. So I don't, you know, Johnny was asking me, is like, what does this mean for Midland Armory? I go, well, I guess it means we have to do a daily Midland Armory news update, you know, rather than sponsorships, I suppose. I don't really know what that means.
with sponsorships of that kind post June 18th will makes your channel subject to being completely terminated, strikes and termination, right? And any video before that is subject to the video itself being terminated. So prior to June 18th, the video itself is at risk. Post June 18th, the entire channel is at risk. And as you know, we have had sponsorships like that almost the entire time we have been doing this. So it pertains to probably 95% of our content. So we are at the risk of losing everything and having to almost start from scratch. You know, trying to be optimistic. Hopefully something, you know, can be done and we can figure out a way, of course.
They've got to. I'm not saying they've got to walk back the entire thing. But you can't do that. Like, not only are you going to fuck over people like this, but YouTube's going to lose money doing something like that. Why can't people advertise? Isn't that what people like YouTube always talk about, or like organizations like YouTube always talk about responsible gun ownership, don't they? Well, that's what these sponsors are. That's what these companies are. They're responsible gun ownership. They support and promote responsible guns. So it just seems like a mixed message to just go and take that away on a whim, because I don't know why. Because if it's a June 18th thing, it has nothing to do with the Trump shooting. Not that I don't think YouTube would really give a shit anyway. But it's kind of an odd thing that YouTube would just start doing this and then retroactively enforcing it.
You know, to keep rolling.
All these things that were perfectly fine for, what, right, 15, 20 years?
Yes, exactly.
All of a sudden are horrible. But make sure that you are subscribed to the channel you're watching, and then also the other two. So Hickok 45 Clips, Hickok 45 Talks, and then the main channel.
Right, because it may be the only way we have to communicate with you moving forward. But we'll see what happens. We're trying to be optimistic, and we hope we can still keep giving you guys the content that you like to see.
Right, because I'm still hoping for that big movie role in Hollywood. I don't want to quit doing videos.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah, I'll get that call one day.
Yeah, it's coming any day now.
So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll keep you apprised of the situation. Life is good.
That sucks for those guys. Those seem like decent dudes. I've never watched any of their stuff before, but they seem like decent enough guys. Now, why are they the only two I'm hearing from on this? Like, why haven't I heard this from anyone else? It makes me hope that maybe these two are being a little over dramatic and that the new policy isn't that bad. But YouTube's gun policy says don't post content on YouTube if the purpose is to do one or more of the following: sell firearms or certain firearms accessories through direct sales, example, private sales by individual, or links to sites that sell these items. We don't post links to anything like that. And the purpose of our content is not to sell firearms or firearms accessories. So I don't think by mentioning Midland Armory, we violate that. You know, I think they're talking about channels like that, theirs, which are like totally guns. Us just every once in a while going, by the way, Midland Armory, you know, midlandarmory.com. Go check them out, whatever. Basically, if you tell your creators they can't link to sites that sell firearms, you've knocked out nearly all possible gun company sponsorships. Not if you don't link them, maybe. I don't know. It's a garbage policy from a company that should know better. It will take a huge chunk of excellent, useful YouTube content. In all likelihood, this will end up very poorly for YouTube, which may lose hundreds or thousands of creators. Hickok45 is not losing hope, saying, I'm still hoping for that big movie. Oh, but they're just quoting part of the video. I don't know. This just seems like one of those decisions, kind of like the, what do you call it? The John Deere thing we just talked about. This sounds like one of those things where they could end up turning on this one once they hear kind of the full brunt of everybody complaining. Hopefully. Soft Weekly with $2 says YouTube banning gun talk equals steel toe banning headbutt talk. I haven't banned headbutt talk. I think if people want to talk about ridiculous fake shit, that's fucking hilarious. Why not? Sam Show says the other channels have said stuff. Demolitia and Brandon Herrera did videos. Oh, okay. So other people are talking about this. McBuster says the operator of Demolition Ranch is under smoke because the shooter was wearing a Demolition Ranch t-shirt. Well, if he was wearing a fucking Five Finger Death Punch shirt, are we going to wonder, you know, if Five Finger Death Punch is part of the problem? No, we know who the problem is. The Secret Service. It's fine. Let's check it out. McBuster.
I'm sure there will be a lot of people watching this video who do not know me, who are new to this channel, and are just checking in based on recent occurrences. So for those who are new, for those who do not know me, my name is Matt Carricker. I am a Texas-based YouTuber, and this is my YouTube channel. Demolition Ranch is a firearms-centered channel.
What is it, a fucking cicada year down there? Jesus Christ, man. When you have a big ranch, can you hire a service to spray for these motherfuckers? Just get rid of them. They're wrecking my video experience.
Also have Off the Ranch, Matt Carricker channel, which is a vlog type channel. And then I'm also a veterinarian. And so I have Vet Ranch, which is a veterinary centered channel. And
fuck, so this guy like just saves puppies and blows shit up. That's kind of a cool combo. I like that. This guy just shoots at shit and saves your dog. What a salt of the earth, down home guy.
Across the board, across all of my videos, we really don't talk about politics at all. We keep politics out of it. For one, it's
I mean, dude, you do like a demolition and gun channel. I think we can I think we can all figure out on our own where you might fall on the spectrum. I don't really see like an I love Beto O'Rourke shirt from a guy who's, you know, firing 50 cals.
Not my bread and butter, but also I don't feel the need to impose my political views and beliefs on other people. And
admirable.
So we generally just stay away from the topic of politics.
Fair enough.
However, we were obviously kind of thrust into the conversation after last weekend. So before I go any further, to the family.
This just feels wrong. Like, this feels so unfair to this guy. So the shooter was wearing a fucking t-shirt. And now all of a sudden this guy has to make a video. You know, he doesn't have to explain himself. God damn.
Of the victim who died during the Trump shooting. Man, I'm so sorry for your loss. It's terrible, and I hate that happened to him and to you guys. And wishing.
I hear that the shooter was wearing Nikes. How do they sleep at night?
Wishing you guys the best from here. That's the worst. For those who were injured in the shooting as well, wishing you guys a speedy recovery, praying for pain-free recovery for you as well.
Says the official tailor to assassins. Like, who's going to actually, how dumb are we? Are we that dumb that people are going to look at this guy now and go, well, we better explain himself? What do you want me to explain? I have a website. People can buy a shirt. Where's the explanation? Don't make this guy do a video where he goes, I denounce the shooter. We know.
Both physically and mentally. I can't imagine. So, as a lot of you guys know, and we were shocked and confused to find this out, the shooter who tried to assassinate Trump was wearing merch from my channel, wearing a Demolition Ranch t-shirt.
Oof. See, that's the difference between being a big channel and a little channel. You know, if you're a big channel like his and someone's wearing your merch, you're like, fuck, I got to do damage control. This sucks. If he's wearing a steel toe shirt, I'm like, you think we'll get a bump? Like, he's already dead, you know? Think people will ask questions? No.
And that sucked to see that. Yeah, that was rough.
That would be the fucking drizzling shits, wouldn't it? That you're watching this, you're like, oh, this is terrible. A guy got killed and Trump got shot at. Wait a minute, honey, can you pause that? No, get the fuck out of here. No, come on. God damn, honey, is that that's one of my shirts. God fucking. And now you're like conflicted because you're like, I feel a little selfish that this is what I'm worried about while a guy like is literally bleeding out from his head. But I am a little peeved at this one.
This t-shirt, we also own a t-shirt company.
Braggart.
And it's based out of my hometown right here. And my friends work there. And we make these shirts. We print them here in Texas and ship them all over the world. I've seen my shirts in every continent.
Especially North America. When a guy's trying to blow the president's head off, how do you live with yourself, t-shirt man?
Picture like 2 weeks ago of a guy wearing my shirt in Antarctica. And
I bet you he clubbed a baby penguin to death with a stick. You fucking animals. Would be weird if you put on a Demolition Ranch shirt and it does, like it gives you CTE or some shit. I heard Chris Benoit wearing a Demolition Ranch t-shirt.
We don't vet.
When Jimmy Superfly Snuka pushed that girl and then she smashed her head on a rock, guess what he was wearing? Demolition Ranch t-shirt. People didn't know this.
The people who buy our shirts, obviously. It'd be impossible to. Just like Nike doesn't vet who buys their shoes. I wish I could. I would love to keep people like that from buying, wearing, being associated with.
I know, dude. This is why I feel bad for this guy. He shouldn't have to do this. It's so silly. I wish I could. You make people like this try way too hard when you fuck with them like this. He's like, I wish I could. I wish I could go and vet. Like, what are you going to do? When someone goes to buy your shirt, you're like, you're not planning on killing the president, are you? And what are they going to do? Answer you and go, fuck, I could have had a Demolition Ranch t-shirt. You got me.
That article of clothing. Like, I wish he couldn't get a shirt.
But you know what? I wish he couldn't get a gun. I don't really give a shit if he gets your shirt. I mean, I'm fine with him getting a Demolition Ranch shirt. Rangefinder and firearm are the two I'm not okay with. But all right, I think he still could have pulled this off shirtless. I mean, dude, judging by how much the Secret Service let him get away with, he could have had a dildo shoved up his ass and they still would have let him pull this off. In fact, they would have said, he's LGBTQ. Don't stop him. It might be a hate crime.
But it happened. And I think the difference in, a gunman wearing a pair of Nike shoes and a gunman wearing my T-shirt is this brand is much more personal to me than Nike is to its executives. And so to see my name next to the shooter's name, it sucks.
Yeah.
I wish we could keep that from happening. So no matter.
I wish that's so. Look, again, this is why I wish that we could all agree that this guy's fine and he doesn't have to talk about it. Because again, he's being forced to say such weird shit like, "Oh man, I wish I could stop that from happening." Dude, we all wish we could stop the shooting from happening. Again, I don't really think you should be this concerned with this guy having your shirt on. I wish I could stop him from getting that shirt. Yeah, bigger fish to fry, buddy.
No matter what side you're on politically, none of us want violence.
Don't tell that to Destiny. Destiny, he apparently now he loves political violence. He thinks it's dope as hell.
This channel was never meant to incite violence or hate. It never has.
What are you, fucking
It
gay,
isn't,
bro?
And it never will be a channel that does that. I don't want any violence or hate anywhere around me.
How about a little?
Wife?
I know. I just feel I'm making jokes because I feel bad that he even has to do this. This is so ridiculous. We should all be adults and just go, dude. We know you're not looking to fucking, endorse shooters with your T-shirts.
And little kids, I want them to be safe and secure forever. And the videos I put out, I want to make sure that is the same for everyone who watches my videos, that they aren't in any more danger because of my videos, of course. And I know you guys know that. I have 11 million subscribers who have been watching me for over 10 years.
And 10,999,999 of them have not shot at a sitting presidential candidate. Huh? It's a pretty good record. 10,999,999 Dude.
And know that I am not that kind of person. This is mostly for the people who are just tuning in to see if I am a guy that is trying to make people do stuff like that.
Nobody thought that. If anyone came to your channel thinking that's what you're about, direct them to me. I'll call them all kinds of names. You should never go to this guy's channel and be like, Assassin was wearing his shirt. I got to find out if he's fucking into killing presidents. Wait, what?
So, I am not. Obviously, I don't have to explain that to you guys who know me, but I feel like I might need to say that for those who don't.
You don't.
This channel is not about violence. This channel will never be. And
he seems like literally one of the sweetest human beings alive. He seems like one of the most decent people ever. And they're putting him through the fucking shit because some asshole did some asshole things. I hate that. I wish America was smarter and that this guy could just go on his business and just do his videos and he didn't have to address this at all because there's no reason to.
We never would condone that at all. I hate that. It's a weird deal. And yeah, I have news articles calling me, asking for interviews, asking what I know about the shooter, asking if I've ever had any communication with the shooter, if I've ever met him.
Hang up on those fucking people. Stop. Let them say Matt Carricker or whatever his name is did not return our request for comment because you don't owe them a comment. The guy bought a fucking shirt. Is Walmart responsible if someone's wearing a shirt from fucking Walmart?
No. He bought a shirt online and unfortunately wore it that day. Anyway, wishing the best for everyone affected by this. Obviously, the way I'm affected is nothing compared to the way some people are affected by this. So, not trying to take anything away from them. But, yeah, just kind of letting you guys know. I wanted to tell you guys who know me.
Dismount. Sign off.
That we're here.
You're good.
Still going. And, yeah, it's unfortunate, but...
Yeah, I'm starting to get sick watching that. That guy felt he had to do that. Ugh. Hate it. Sam Show says, in fact, Aaron, we're even dumber than that. I know. That really sucks. McBuster puts a link in and says he rules. Is this the Demolition
I'm
Ranch
sure
guy?
there will be a lot of people watching this video.
Oh, no, it's the same guy. Okay, that's the link we were playing. Rusty Grammar. Oh, I can't read that. Jesus. Vidam with $5 throws a link our way. By the way, you guys are $40 into tomorrow morning's goal. Thank you for your generosity. We'll check that. Oh, he says, Vidam says that's YouTube gun law rules. Okay. And then he gives me another one on the subject. We'll check them both out. Mad Move says, don't be naive. Like you said, he is a gun channel and easy to assume his views, and the link would be used to make conservatives look bad. I know. It's I like I said, I hate that he even has to go on and make that video. He prints the shirts with his own company and ships them out even. Yeah, like the guy's hustling. Mad Move says he doesn't. Anyone who would watch him understands. It's the libs that will say, YouTube gun channel radicalized shooter. Yeah, horseshit. McBuster says, for the slags on the View, fuck cicadas. Yeah, I could. Those bugs were hard to tune out, dude. Those bugs are hard to turn out. All right, we got some tech stuff coming in. Let's catch up with those. This person writes, Matt Carricker is actually one of the coolest, most genuine people ever. Also, I apologize for whatever I said to get banned. Genuinely a fan. Book of Toe, Nana's Clams. Somebody banned you? I will take care of the banning. Actually, this text service, I think a lot of people like it better. John Hinckley shot Reagan to get in Jodie Foster's pants. I think that's more to blame than the shooter wearing a Demolition Ranch t-shirt. Yeah. It's fucking Jodie Foster's fault. This person writes, your shows have less viewers not because it's summer and people are doing things. It's because the main drama is temporarily over. You'll lose most of those subs you've gained after the drama completely ends. No, we've gained quite a few fans, as we haven't really been talking about it very much. We've gained quite a few fans who have stuck around. I do anticipate we'll lose a good chunk. But we've gained a few thousand people, and I think the vast majority of them are going to stick around. But numbers have been strong this week up until tonight. They've been solid. We've been doing about 1,000 to 1,100 at our peak in the morning between our services. And in the evening shows, it's always around 4. So I'm pretty happy with those. It used to be, 250 and 700 evening and morning. So we're still doing pretty well. I appreciate you guys. Red Fox Mad with $4.99 says YouTube gun policy video. All right, like 15 people have now.
Hey everyone, welcome
this.
back to the
All
VSO
right.
Gun Channel. It's great to have you here as always. Thank you for tuning in. And I've got some breaking news here for you today. But first, I want to say thank you to all of you who made some noise about the fact.
So this is 4 weeks ago.
That YouTube is trying to change their policies on firearms-related content. They've made some really nonsensical changes that don't have any basis in law, as well as they're retroactive. Really not a good look. And when we in the creator space ask you guys to go out and do something for us, even as small as making a post on Twitter or something like that, know that it's for a good reason and it has a definitive impact. And that's what we're talking about here today. We've been saying that these changes are going to happen, but hot off the press, we have a message from the House of Representatives Judiciary Committee expressly asking YouTube, what the heck are you doing? That and more after we hear a quick word from today's sponsor. Quick service.
He's still doing it. So they must not be taking people down. I haven't heard of any channels getting taken down because of it, because this guy's still doing it.
For all of y'all, we have now 2 discount codes prepped up for you guys over at Mission First Tactical. One is for the all-day everything stuff, everything from their backpacks to their drinkware to the holsters, to even the new translucent magazines that they just came out with. Really like the purple ones, by the way.
Okay, so he's still doing them. He's not taken down or anything. So that's a good sign, right?
Then a second code that is for everything that is getting ready to go away, like 50 or 60% off in many cases. So you can find all that information over at the affiliates page, and special thanks to Mission First Tactical for making today's video possible. So what I have put up here on screen is a letter from the Congress of the United States House of Representatives Committee on the Judiciary. And this is to a Mr. Daniel Donovan, which gathering this looks like one of the attorneys for Alphabet.
Oh, okay. So the company that owns Google, that owns YouTube.
Which is, you know, Alphabet, Google, YouTube, you know, all that sort of crap, right? The committee.
This guy reminds me a little bit of Derek from Midland, actually.
Of the Judiciary and Select Subcommittee on the Weaponization of Federal Government are conducting oversight on how and to what extent the executive branch has coerced or colluded with companies and other intermediaries to censor Americans' speech. Read between the lines.
This guy's actually boring me a little bit. I'm sorry. I've got like 3 videos people want me to watch on this.
How's it going, guys, and welcome to Formar Ranch. Now, as much as I hate doing videos this format, I think it's important to keep you guys informed on what's going on in the 2A space on YouTube. And unfortunately, that is that YouTube as a platform is coming out with some firearm policy updates as of June 18th. So in all seriousness, guys, if my channel is no longer up and active after June 18th, it's not because I gave up or wanted to walk away from YouTube because of all their BS when it comes to this category. It's because they wiped my channel out. If that happens to me, I'm sure I won't be.
There's got to be some kind of misunderstanding because it's been a month now and I don't hear about any of these big gun channels being wiped out. So there's got to be some kind of loophole or there's got to be some kind of tolerance level that YouTube has for it. Maybe they just don't want you being a channel that just hawks gun shit constantly. You know, they don't mind if you do shooting videos and tutorial videos. They just don't want like telethons for gun shit, maybe.
Only one, but keeping this video as short as possible. I'm only going to cover some of the key details. I will have the new policy linked in the description if you guys want to dig into that further, but I'm not trying to read everything off for 15 minutes. But their primary focus is to protect the youth from the dangers of firearm content online. Now, interesting.
Right, it's great. You can get gambling content or you can get all kinds of content where dumb whores with giant tits watch TikTok videos. That's good for the youth. But you don't want them getting responsible Second Amendment and gun safety advice on YouTube. That would be terrible. We really want these kids to be running around with firearms with absolutely no education. It's what we would like. So don't have these channels out there that are disastrous to the children where they, you know, teach you how to responsibly maintain and own firearms. That'd be bad, actually.
Enough, I checked my
now turn on Sniper Wolf.
Metrics, and 0.1% of my viewers actually fall under the age of 18. So that very, I mean,
you know what that tells me? These teenagers today be gay, yo. They don't like guns.
0.1% of my viewers is, for my metrics, is what they are trying to protect. So the primary categories that they're going after is showing any kind of assembly pertaining to firearms whatsoever. So I would imagine most like DIY or how-to videos are probably going to cause issues. Even ammunition. So if you're going to show how to manufacture or you know, load ammo, that's not gonna fly. That's gonna be a no-go. So for those that don't realize, what happens when you violate their community policies is that you get a channel strike. 3 strikes and you're out. Your channel's automatically deleted. Now, why is this a concern? Why is it scary? The worst part of this policy update is that it's going to be retroactive, meaning, you know, the videos I've uploaded literally 6 years ago, if these now fall into non-compliance, even though they were approved then, they could be removed with a channel strike. And again, 3 strikes, you're out. So
if they really do decide to put the hammer down on this, all these channels are fucked because you'd basically have to nuke your entire channel, which goodbye to all your ad revenue and everything else that comes from these videos. So these guys are butt fucked if they decide to drop the hammer, but they haven't yet. So I wonder if they're not going to come out with some kind of compromise for all this stuff.
June 18th, if 3 of my hundreds of videos are no longer suitable, then my channel is deleted. And that is that. It is their platform, their rules. Whether or not we agree with them, I know for a fact that I don't. Best case, the videos of this category, what are they going to do? They're going to age restrict them because, again, their whole focus is to protect.
That's fair. That's not something I have to worry about. I age restrict my videos voluntarily, so YouTube just doesn't have to bother. I think it also keeps you off the radar a little bit if you just admit openly, you're like, yep, not for kids, not this channel, fucking degenerate. And they're like, well, at least they come out and say it.
Youth on their platform. So what is that going to do, and why is that a concern? And even though it's best case, it's still really, really bad for firearm content creators like myself, because in that scenario where they age restrict, you're no longer going to see my videos in your suggested feeds. So for example, again, using my metrics, in the last 28 days, so 4-week time period, I've had 1.7 million impressions, meaning I've randomly had some of my videos showing up in 1.7 million different feeds out there.
Damn.
That gives me about 83% based on my metrics of my total views. I get, obviously 1.7 million people happen to scroll past my thumbnails in their feed. I only get between a 5 and 10% conversion, or how many people actually.
Bro, that's 150,000 people checking out your shit, though, from just those suggestions. That's pretty sweet.
click on those. So they're going to basically eliminate 83% of the people that are going to see my videos, and I would assume that's going to be true for other firearm content creators. So that's going to effectively just absolutely dry up gun channels on YouTube that rely on views for revenue and for marketing deals and affiliate links and all of that kind of stuff. Now, speaking of the affiliate links, that's another thing that's going.
I don't get this. Like, this is YouTube just purposely costing themselves money. This is YouTube, again, shooting themselves in the foot, for lack of a better word. Why? Why would you do? There's no reason. Like, you could have just left this all alone and it would have been fine. Nobody was complaining. Nobody was upset about this. And you just changed it out of the blue, and you're going to now lose a fuckload of money in ad revenue and money you take from these channels. It's the dumbest. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, if they were showing people how to, shoot prisoners execution style, you might have a point. But they're just gun videos. They're just shooting tutorials and shit. J. Bra says it would be best if we were always told what to do. Honestly, thinking is exhausting. And it gives you wrinkles, says 09 Canyon. Atomic Ray says buying Rumble stock, gun ads on gun shows makes sense. Something's going on with Rumble too. Am I wrong, or is Rumble, I think, losing audience a little bit? I feel like Rumble I feel like they've peaked. I feel like the amount of people who used to brag about, like, we'll go to Rumble, we'll do this, we'll do that. I think it kind of becomes an elephant graveyard. I don't think there's a lot of growth there. First of all, the amount of people you're reaching on Rumble is so much smaller than YouTube. I mean, yeah, there's less channels competing for those eyeballs, but there's still less eyeballs. And then, the profitability angle, Rumble's not a profitable company. It does seem like you've got, you don't hear about Crowder anymore. Anybody who had a presence on YouTube who goes over to Rumble, you just straight up do not hear about him. It becomes like sort of an elephant graveyard for broadcasting. So I don't, Atomic Ray says Bongino hit 250,000 last Saturday. So potential is up to your ability. No, I get that. I understand that. But at the same time, like, the well does seem like it's drying up a little bit. Like, it doesn't seem like it's expanding. It seems like it's either staying the same or contracting. I don't know. I think that's good for tonight, guys. Thank you very much for your time. I do appreciate it. Fun hanging out with you. Thank you to the morning show audience, of course, that knocked out almost the entire goal. You guys hammered out the rest in like the first 20, 30 minutes, which is great. You even got 40 minutes into tomorrow. Appreciate all of you. Thank you very much for hanging out with us tonight. We're going to take off. That's the end of the week for evening shows. We've got our last YouTube show of the week tomorrow with our last goal of the week. Hope we knock that out. And then we'll do Rumble Friday on Friday. Thank you guys very much for your time. Take it easy. Back again tomorrow at 6 in the morning.